Okay, let's do a special.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use
Typical for video.
It is.
So you see it complain. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we're
Typical. What did you say?
numbers drop off. I think, honestly, I think it's a combination of people recovering from Christmas and they're getting their taxes.
And while we're at it,
And it is a short month.
thousands of the best
You mean getting their taxes?
It's just a short month.
Well,
waiting to hear back from them.
only if they're actually getting returns. A
Now,
lot of them don't know. A lot of them
We should have a standing rule, no lies
Now,
on
you
phone.
heard me talk a lot about stem cell therapy.
Sorry.
I've done extensive research, which led me to Centennial.
That's just my theory. But I mean, you know, people say short month, but I mean, it's still every month in the year has at least four payroll days. Or two if you're bi-weekly or whatever.
Only MDs
It depends on where the week is.
more experience than any other provider in the country. Why would you go to a clinic with no MDs at all? Centennial Schultz can help you with painful joints,
Like I say, it's a cold month.
back, shoulders, hands.
Right.
They can repair
Right.
both
More
of these nail
taxes.
tears with
I
a
think they're
knee
just
instead of a
finally just recovering
Before
from,
you have surgery,
you know,
consult
overspending at
Centennial
Christmas.
Schultz at 303
Getting their W-2s, they're not sure what's going to happen.
Why do you
Or
love
they're waiting
that's the
until,
love
At
center
a true
show?
medical regenerative clinic, Centennial Schultz.
or they're waiting until they get their money before they.
Exactly.
Yeah.
963-9201.
Exactly.
I got my check. I cashed out after Super Bowl, so they sent me my, money. And it's a Canadian check, man. You know how hard it is to cash a Canadian check? Well, I'm learning.
Wow.
It is hard, huh?
It's crazy. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show.
Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you. That means we are going after liars, cheats, and rip-offs, and we are trying to get money back for people as we speak. We have recovered this year about $2.5 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Usually in a year we can do 20 million. Over the years, hundreds of millions. Yes, it's the only place in the media, not just on radio. Yes, we have the longest running radio show with the same hosts currently on the air, but, and that's in America, not only are we on the air, but we do something. And it's not, like this trying to change your mind about anything. I can't stand when the media, when the media tries to shove things down your throat. All we try to do is seek fairness and justice. 303-713-TALK. You call, and we respond. This hour brought to you by KH Windows. Love these guys. I've known them since the beginning of my referral list, really. And KH Home Solutions is what they're called now. They've been in business 62 years. In honor of that, you know what they're doing? They're going to take $6,200 off your James Hardy siding. So call them for siding for this Go for the Gold. And with Windows, if you buy 3, you get 1 free. And that's KH Home Solutions. I knew the original owner, and then I knew Ted, who's been there for almost 30 years. KH Home Solutions. They have a really interactive, good website. So if you want to know about their siding, their windows, and their other features, just go to khwindows.com to make your own appointment. khwindows.com. That's khwindows.com. So welcome, Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission. And we have Andy Barella from Colorado Springs Dodge. And we are having car day today. We're expecting someone else in as well. So what is going on in the car world? Februaries are classically slow, Jeff.
Yeah, you typically see a drop in. Yeah, I think they're recovering from Christmas. They're preparing for their taxes, or they're waiting to get that tax return in order to actually, make that big purchase or make that big repair.
Now, business-wise, of course, that's business-wise. But as far as consumers' needs, what are the months for the most need? I would say, I'd venture to say, when it's very hot or very cold. Yes, no, what?
Without a doubt, yeah. The temperature swings are huge. I mean, summers are hottest, no pun intended, our hottest months. People are out vacationing, they're traveling around more, they're beating them up.
So very hot or very cold.
Heat is the number one killer, yeah.
Is heat a worse killer than cold?
Definitely.
Okay, so Andy Burrell in Colorado Springs Dodge, I know you're in the service department, the director, but as far as sales go, what are the hot months for Colorado Springs Dodge as far as selling?
We're the same way. The warmer months are the better months
for selling.
Yeah, they are.
All right.
But year round, we're such a big truck store that we do a big volume of truck
Are
business.
Dodge trucks still hot?
Very. Very, very
But
much
they
so.
don't outsell the Ford, do they? The 150, isn't that still the #1 truck in the world?
It is. I don't think there's been a time where anybody has outsold Ford. True. It
Really,
has
for
been.
trucks?
Yeah,
Isn't
correct.
that weird? Now, so as far as trucks go, as far as sales, Ford's 1, is Chevy 2?
Yeah, that's correct.
Who's 3?
That's correct. Dodge is right there. We're one
where's
of the top
Toyota?
3, 4.
I see more and more Toyota.
Toyota range is high, but not as much in the truck side that I can see. They're a volume store, period.
Yeah.
But not so much just trucks.
303-713-TALK. Linda wants to talk about a Kia warranty. Okay, Linda, what's happening? Kias are cute little cars. What's happening with you?
Well, I bought a 2014 Kia Forte.
Kia
fully
Forte.
loaded. I bought it in 2014 in August, and I bought it from CarMax, and that was a great experience. And they told
good.
me that I had the 5-year 60,000-mile warranty, 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain, and then an 8-year 80,000-mile rust warranty. Told me to call Kia on Monday morning and have them transferred over, which I did.
Okay, what's the problem? You didn't tell me the problem yet.
So the problem, October 6th, I was driving down Highway 85 south, and it started to make kind of a ticking noise. My son was with me. He's a mechanic. Had me pull over, and he said, "Mom, your oil's real low." So I said, "Okay, let's go, to the gas station."
But let's get to the problem. I don't need the story right now. I mean, I don't mind it if it has something to do with the problem, but
it does. Okay, so
but tell me what the problem is.
So a mile later, it makes terrible noise, pull off, and it spun a rod bearing and threw a rod.
Okay, why?
Well, so we weren't sure at all. I had just had the oil changed 2 months before and maybe put 80 miles on it because I work 2 blocks from where I live. And so I had it towed.
Okay,
I-25.
Rod bearing, right? What's usually the cause, guys, for rod bearings going?
No oil.
Yeah, more than likely a starved.
So was it starved of oil? I'm just trying to get the facts now, and I don't mind your stories, but I'm just trying to get the facts. So
okay, so the facts are that Hyundai has recalled the exact same engine as the 2.0 GDI.
Hyundai has,
and Hyundai and Kia are the same company now.
But is the issue that they won't fix?
What do you mean they're the same company?
Linda, they're not. But the engine she's saying is the same. Linda, can I ask you a question? Basically, you're calling because you had a problem and they're not covering it under warranty. Is that right?
Exactly.
How many miles do you have in your car?
86,000 miles.
Okay, so you're out of the 5-year 60,000 miles.
Yes.
So why should they cover
There's
it?
a powertrain to 100.
Yeah, but what does the powertrain include?
Engine, transmission,
So
powertrain.
basically the main stuff, right? All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the second owner of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, did you buy it? Where did you buy it?
At CarMax.
I don't think that 100 extends to her then.
Okay, so
it's not certified. Is it certified or not? It's simple.
It's not.
Okay.
So, this is not the issue, though.
What can you get to the issue? Because I haven't had the issue yet. The issue is complete this sentence. Yes.
My 2.0 GDI engine has been recalled by Hyundai and Kia, and they recalled it in the Sportages and another model.
When did they recall it?
The exact same issue. They issued the recall in 2016, I believe.
Okay,
in
so
April of
our recalls,
2017.
were they recalls where Kia paid for it?
Yes. They put brand new engines in them.
And did they do it for original owners only, do you know?
No, they've done it for everyone who owns
Then why
them.
didn't you get notified of the recall?
Because they didn't include Fortes in them at the time.
Oh, hold on. They didn't include what?
The Forte, which is my model.
Well, then it's not. If it's not recalled, it's not. Did they ever include that model?
No, but they're getting ready to because they've had a lot of them.
But Linda, here's what you're saying. You're saying it should be recalled and it should be covered, but it's not. I agree with you, by the way, but if it's not, it's not. Recalls, unless they're mandatory by the government, recalls are at the manufacturer's discretion as to what models they include. I mean,
However,
Andy,
can I finish?
Andy, I want to ask him a question. When you have recalls with a factory and it doesn't make sense because some models are having the same problem, what do you guys do with that? I mean, people come and say, wait a minute, I got the same engine. Why is his being recalled and mine's not? What do you tell them?
Recalls are vehicle identification number
Right.
specific.
Right.
They're VIN specific.
Right.
So you have to fall within the VIN number, within the build time of the vehicle. It has
Okay,
to be
I gotcha.
identified as that period of
Okay,
defect.
and then many times they will expand them after they've been out a while, right?
Yeah, and in some cases, like she says, they will release recalls sometimes in stages.
Okay.
However, if she does need a repair and it has a recall, they'll reimburse her as well.
Okay, so where are we going with this? You said there's more. What have we not heard yet?
So in April of 2017, they settled a class action lawsuit. Kia did.
Okay, with
For
who?
this engine,
Yes.
with the consumers, I'm assuming, and they were found guilty of knowing that these 2.0 GDI engines have this engine fail. It's an engineering problem.
Okay.
And
what happened?
Dealers,
What was ordered?
Pardon me?
What was ordered? What were they ordered to do?
That they were to replace the engines.
But what's the matter? She wasn't part of the class action.
They are now pursuing a second class action. I found the attorney
For what?
that handled the first one on all models from 2006
Okay.
through
Well, it sounds like
2016.
things are progressing, but you're saying I need help now. Linda, I know where you're going, and honest to God, we get it. You have a problem, they're not covering it. You think they should because it's the same engine. Kia has been through the mill. They've lost at every turn. Eventually, they probably will cover it, but as Andy said, if you get it fixed now, it will go retroactive. If you had a problem and did it, they would reimburse you.
Exactly. They want $9,700
Okay,
to put a new engine in there.
so you don't have the money to do it, is what you're saying.
No. And this class action stated that Kia knew of the problem, and the dealers
But Linda,
continued to charge people.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Okay.
But they're
I'm just
not
trying
going
to
to
tell the whole
pay you.
story.
Linda, I get it. This happens all the time. But they're not going to say, okay, Kia, you got us, man. You got us. You got all the evidence. Here's your $9,000. They're not going to do it until they are forced to do it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So, meanwhile, you're stuck. I get it. You don't have the money to fix it. Will the dealer work with you on a payment plan or something?
No.
And if it's not, Andy, a safety recall, it's something like this, an engine that could fail with no safety issues. If it's out of warranty, have you ever even heard of this?
There is no recall that's not safety related, though. Every recall is for safety purposes, because that's how they go through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
I actually didn't know.
Yeah, actually, it is true.
All right,
Anything.
so what does she do? She has to just keep records, get it fixed. She can't, and if she gets it fixed just anywhere, they're not going to necessarily go retro on her.
That's exactly what she needs to do, and under the circumstances,
Exactly what? What does she need?
She needs to fix it, and then
what?
when that recall comes about, then you need to pursue reimbursement. If you were in my store, I'd give you options for people that would finance you. If you know, now obviously credit's a concern.
Yeah.
But there are sources that'll actually finance you, and you can make payments on the engine repair.
So, really, Linda, we can't speed up the process. If, you know, now, one thing you may do, and this might work, really, Linda, it might work. You may want to go to small claims court against that dealer and use all your evidence and simply ask, you can only go for $7,500.
But what would CarMax have to do with this?
Well, I'm saying she should sue the Kia dealer in town that does the warranty work. I would go after them saying they're the representative of the manufacturer. You bought the car in Colorado. They should be servicing it. They're not. And you have all the evidence to show that it's not your fault. That's the way I really would. I would at least get something. You know what? They might say, geez, let's help this woman out. At least they may finance you until the service bulletin comes through. Look, it's something. And I believe it's something that needs to be done. Today is car day. Let's talk Rockies, 63rd and Federal. Let's talk about Rockies. Why do I like the dealership? First, convenient location, 63rd and Federal. Plenty of parking, never a problem. Plenty of selection, I love it. All makes, models, brands, colors, and plenty of options for financing, and prices are clearly marked. They give higher prices for trades because they sell most trades right on the lot. Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 63rd and Federal. And they want you to shop around. Just put Rockies on the list. By the way, my kids were with me today, and they're on their way to school. So hello, Vonnie. Hello, Dolce. They're listening. We got more.
Yeah, what she said is they told her she got the full warranty when she bought it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Andy, if you're feeling a little close to Dan, now you can move over.
What are you saying? Like me?
No, that total, in order to have a certified vehicle, you have to buy it from the dealer of that manufacturer. Does Dodge do certified used at all?
Sure do.
And the only way you can buy them is through Dodge, right?
No, ours, yes.
Well, yeah, same with all of
Makes
them.
perfect sense, and I told her that and stuff. I said, but she said they
Hey,
told me.
Jeff,
now
I was
she-
going to get 2 pizzas, a pepperoni and a...
As long as it doesn't have fruit or fish, I'm good with it.
Okay, so pineapple anchovy
You
pizza.
got it. You got it.
Really? Allow that. Really?
Mr. Government needs to intervene so the pineapple shows up on pizza cover again.
I love pineapple on it.
Pineapple,
But I don't eat
Canadian
pizza.
bacon?
You eat so much?
I don't like
Really?
pizza. I'll eat the toppings off of it. I don't eat till 4 o'clock every day anymore.
He's very good.
Literally. Yeah.
Really?
Strict as
He's
hell.
good.
Not beer, nothing till 4. Nothing with any form of calories.
Anytime? Lunch? That's why when he went to lunch, he doesn't get it, because
My
he's...
boss told me he's on a diet and he eats anything he wants between. Have you heard that shit?
Oh,
You know what?
yes.
Here's
What
what I
is
hear.
it,
You want to hear what I
Tommy?
hear?
5 and 5, 10.
Andy, here's what I hear about nutrition. 99% bullshit. Doctors don't even know. Doctors, in fact, know the least about nutrition.
Absolutely.
Because they just fix things. They don't know anything about preventing.
Absolutely.
Between 11 and 6.
Do you know
After
what?
6,
Do you know what
until
diet
11.
nutrition has become?
Oh my God, that's a huge window.
It's politics.
You could take it, goddamn.
Oh, it's stupid.
11 and
Eating
6.
You can do so much damage eating crap.
Oh,
no.
you could do
Yeah, but
more.
that's
You could
seven-
probably do just as much damage by not eating.
That's
Can I
7
tell you,
hours of eating.
here's what I do. I do a perfect diet, and then I'll cheat, and it ruins everything.
Yeah.
People think, oh, if I
Yeah.
just have like
Yeah.
last night, I just saw these kids eating ice cream sandwiches, and I freaking took one. And you know what? That'll wipe out,
Boo.
literally. That'll wipe out 2 or 3 days.
Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well.
One
I'm with
little
you.
thing like that, because of the way you trained your body.
So
it's
how much
bad.
do you exercise?
He's good. He's three times a week at the gym.
Do you?
He's.
I
when it
just
comes
went
to
back. I went
exercise,
back to the
he's
gym on Tuesday.
So 3 times a week, and then exercise is good. But for me, it has to, because I'm getting older. I need the stretching and the weights, or you atrophy naturally as you get older. Your muscle goes away. You see old guys sometimes they start sagging,
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh,
they
hell
lose
yeah.
volume. That's a bad thing, man. I don't know why more people don't.
Yeah.
You can get away with it when you're younger.
It's intermittent fasting is what it's called, and it's like Mark does a 24, right?
I eat 2 hours a day, so I'll eat either between 4 and 6 or 5 and 7.
That is a great. Do you know what? Here's the biggest bullshit.
Dude, you don't eat from breakfast till
Do you know what the
4?
biggest bullshit is? Breakfast. You need breakfast.
That's
It's
exactly
the most
what-
important meal.
It's sort of a
So full of shit. First of all, the truth is,
Fucking Tony the Tiger.
here's the truth. You're always eating.
That's right, Jeff.
You're always eating. All food is for fueling up. You're always eating.
Well, yeah, your body will feed off
Your
your
body.
fat, right?
It should.
Right?
That's the ideal situation. But what people have done is when they have a big fat tank and they don't use it, they get run down. And so if they eat carbs and sugar, they feel good and then they crash. So then while they're crashing, they do it again and then they crash. And so what they're doing is it's like having nitrous oxide in your car. You're using that hot fuel to get where you're going.
Give it a flash.
Instead of just letting it run like it should,
Yeah.
like on fat. So if you do what he does regularly, your body will just burn fat around the clock.
So how long have you been doing that?
Strict, probably strict No, not that long. Strict, probably 3 weeks.
Are you losing weight?
But prior to that, I mean, I do very close to that. Now I'm very strict at it. I don't do it to lose weight. Yes, that's one of the side effects.
But you can.
Body fat. I lost 5%. I got lose.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter.
Joseph Lazara is a criminal defense attorney, and on car day, I'm going to tell you, we don't call it car and booze day because booze doesn't go with cars. We don't, really. If you're drinking and driving, you're going to get in trouble. Even if you think you know how to calculate, you're going to get in trouble. If you do get in trouble, now I'm not saying, yeah, go ahead and do it and then call them, don't worry about it. It's a bad thing. It's, you know, even if you get through the system with minimal damage, it still will have insurance implications and other things. Joe Lazara once told me that it is at a minimum a $10,000 impact on your life when you get a DUI. That's not just the attorney. I'm talking about everything with insurance and all the penalties. Joseph Lazara can help you through the system with this or any accusation of a crime. 303-429-6200, 429-6200. Lazara, 2 Z's, 1 R. LazaraLegal.com. Let's keep going to the phones to see what we can do for you. Now, Chris. Okay. What's happening, Chris?
Good morning, Tom.
What's going on?
My 14-year-old son, in an unprovoked attack, was assaulted by an older boy.
Okay, now, tell me the circumstances. Where were they?
They were in our neighborhood.
Okay, it was outside of school?
Yes.
Okay, and what time of the day?
Midday.
Midday. So, and tell me what led up to it.
Well, that part is unclear. The attack was unprovoked, and my son suffered some injuries. The police were
But
involved.
how, when you, okay, Chris, you know what I mean. What's the story? It didn't just happen. What led up to it? Your son's not just walking down the street. This guy comes up and says, bam, bam, right? I mean, something happened.
Well, we haven't been able to get the other side.
Okay, so is your son basically saying, Dad, I'm walking down the street. This guy walks up to me and just kicks the snot out of me. That's it. Nothing else. He didn't say anything. He didn't. Go ahead.
He was in the park, and the other boy attacked him.
Okay, but what was he doing in the park?
He was just visiting with some other kids. And
were they playing a game? Were they sitting on a bench? What were they doing?
I think they were just talking.
Okay, and this other boy, was he with other kids?
No, he was by himself.
Does he know this other boy?
Yes, they go to the same school.
And were they ever friends?
No, not friends.
Were they always did they have a bad relationship for some reason?
I think they just knew who each other were, but
that's
I don't
it.
think they
and then your son says what? He was talking to his friends, and this other guy, does he yell out, "Hey you," or does he simply walk over and beat him up? I mean, there's got to be a story, Chris. Even if it's one side, I need the one side. What is the story?
Well,
was he standing? Was he sitting? There's got to be a story. It's not just my son was there and got beat up. I mean, the kid didn't wake up in the morning saying, I'm going to go beat up this guy. I mean, something happened. So from your son's perspective, what did your son say happened? What's your son's first name?
Eric.
Okay, so what does Eric say happened?
Hey, Tom, I'm going to put my wife on the phone. She's more well-versed on it.
Where's Eric? Is he in school?
Hi.
Hi. What's your first name?
Trish.
Hi, Trish. Hey, Trish. All I'm trying to figure out is what happened. Not whose fault it was. Not at two sides. Just one side. Just your son's perspective. He's there talking to some friends in the park. Okay, did this other boy jump down from a tree? Did he walk up to him? Did he run up to him? Did he shout at him first? Did they have words? What does your son say happened?
As I understand it, and this is also through eyewitness testimony from the investigation.
Okay.
My son was at a public, Founders Green, over in Stapleton.
Okay.
And he was hanging out there with his friends.
Sure.
And this boy started walking toward them.
Okay.
And
my son, he came straight toward my son. My son thought from the distance that it was somebody he knew.
Okay. Was he walking quickly toward him?
I'm not so sure on
and then
the,
what
on the
happened?
speed.
He was walking towards your son, and
then he came to my son and started pushing my son. He grabbed my son by the top of his shirt
did
collar.
he say anything like, hey, you know, how dare you do this? Or, I mean, did he just walk up and start doing it?
No, he said things that related to a posting that was on public media.
Now that's okay. What did he say? That's what I'm trying to get at. By the way, I'm not trying to justify. I'm not trying to find fault.
Sure.
I'm just trying to find the story. So, what comments did he make?
Comments along the lines of, stay away from my sister.
Okay. Now, why? See, I knew there had to be something. What was this in context to? Stay away from my sister.
Well, no one really knows the context. We can only tell
but what does Eric think? What does Eric think that this guy... Go ahead.
It was due to a posting that a person put on public media about my son, how...
Okay.
And it was very...
So it was on... what, are we talking about Facebook or Snapchat or what?
It was on the Stapleton Neighborhood Facebook Watch page.
Okay, so on the Facebook, and we don't have to get specifics if you don't want people looking this up.
No, I can tell you anything you want to know.
But here's what I want to know. I meant I don't care about names where we can identify people. So what was posted? What's the very first post of concern? What was posted?
The posting was regarding another... my son.
Just tell me what it said. Just tell me what it said. If there's no vulgarity.
Pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, I would. Hold on. Okay, Chris, I'm going to be asking specifics, or not Chris, but Trish. So you hold on, and we'll come to you. Okay? That's all I want. I knew somebody doesn't just walk up. Something happened, and I'm trying to put some perspective to this. 303-713-TALK. We will help you. So hold on. All right, we will help you. Now, Tracy, I'll be back to you, Trish. Tracy, what's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I'm living in Boulder in a condo owned by a private landlord.
Okay.
I'm 6 months into my lease. I have a year lease with her.
Sure.
And she put the condo on the market last week and immediately started to show it.
Sure. Now, what does your lease say about showings? Usually there's some wording in there.
There's a clause in there under privacy that says she is allowed to do showings.
Yeah, it says resident shall permit owner/agent to enter the premises at reasonable time, blah, blah, blah. Got it. So then what?
Well, so reasonable, that's, first of all, I wanted to define what reasonable is because she wants me to show the condo any time of the day.
Okay.
So basically I'm having to vacate with my dogs.
Well,
and I work from home. So
well, reasonable
–
is left for common law to decide. Reasonable, Mark and I had this discussion this morning on what is egregious. Reasonable and egregious are not defined specifically in a court of law. They go by what is called precedent. In other words, did anyone ever sue for access before or lack of access or to deny access? Has anyone been evicted? Has any court ever taken a look and said, this is egregious or this is unreasonable? If not, then a jury would decide what's reasonable and what's not, or a judge, or a combination of the two. You don't always have to go by court precedent. Just because a court says it's so doesn't mean every court will say it's so. So in your case, when you say, here, there's another definition, and they use this often. It says, if the common man looking at this would say, oh my goodness, they would be outraged. So what I want to know from you is the specific hours and stuff she's asking. So hold on. That's what I want to know. That and only that. What is she asking for, rather than trying to discuss the entire possibilities of unreasonableness? Let's just get to your problem. I talked about Joe Lazaro, criminal defense attorney. Said I hope you never need him. And I hope you never need this next attorney, John Fuller, Fuller Law. Now, if you're injured for any reason, and you think somebody else might be responsible or there's someone else involved, I urge you to call John Fuller, and I'll tell you why. He can take a look at it, and it won't cost you a dime to see, is someone responsible? Is there a way to collect? Do they have insurance? and who's connected to that person? These are questions everyone has, especially if you're losing work, you're losing money, you're losing time and joy of life. John Fuller will take a look at it, free. And if he takes the case, he will collect only if you collect a percentage of what you collect. PersonalInjuryCO.com will teach you a lot. That's his website. Or call him, 303-597-4500. 303-597-4500.
The best deputy we ever had, present company excluded. Oh yeah.
I don't know, my brain was so fogged by what he did, the atrocious act.
Oh my God, he enforced the law.
Hey, Tom, here's
He
another thing on
enforced
this
the
here.
law, and Suzanne and Tom went all over him.
He also gave
Fired
in the lease agreement. They said we
can
can
landlord
can terminate
him.
within 20 days,
The placard away
even
from
during
a
the
woman
lease.
who
That's why I
walks like
highlighted that.
this with
Expired
the
handicap.
I don't know if that's agreed.
Expired
Expired.
handicap placard.
And-
She had the real one in her husband's car.
Okay.
He's out parking in
Louder,
front of old
louder,
folks' homes with the
louder.
freaking in the handicap spot,
And they selling them.
making people in wheelchairs.
No doubt.
He went around the front of the car just to check if it was
He
expired.
volunteers for Denver to enforcement of handicaps. Guys, no, Tom is so wrong on this one.
Oh my God.
What he should have done is says, hey, your placard's expired.
That's what he did do.
No. How about he took a card.
That's right, because it was expired. It's fucking unlawful.
And he should have said.
How about a kid with a fake ID? So here's where Dan stands now. A kid with a fake ID who wants to go buy, a 16-year-old kid with a fake ID that wants to buy a fucking AR-15. It's all good.
Just because you get louder doesn't mean you're right. I've said that before. And the other thing is, you always try to draw parallels that aren't necessarily the same.
They're always
the point.
They're always the same.
The point I made was this. The purpose of the law of having a handicap placard is to make sure that people with handicaps have places to park and people don't misuse the placard. Okay, that's the purpose. Now, there is something in the law called substance over form, meaning the form is the date. And if it's expired, what is the substance? Is she truly handicapped? And is it her car? And is it her placard? Yes. In those cases, the law has often said, okay, technically, by form, it's expired. But you're not doing any harm because, in reality, you are the person who had it, you are handicapped, and you are not misusing it. So you can let it go. Now, what you do say is, get it renewed, okay? But you don't take it.
You missed the whole thing.
I missed nothing.
Notice how quiet I am.
I missed
You missed the entire thing.
And what is that?
Her one that wasn't expired, her actual good one, was in her other car that her husband was driving.
Well, but
she shouldn't have had two.
Well,
you don't keep the expired
one. But that guy didn't know that.
Yeah, he did know it. Susan explained that to him.
Mark,
she said the one that's not expired is in my other car.
Okay. Well, then, if she said that, which I never heard before,
she did.
Then he would have. Then I could see him saying, "By the way, you're only supposed to have one.
That's
so
right.
I'm taking this one." Well, that changes everything.
That's
Mark,
what
that
happened.
wasn't the original argument ever.
You
Isn't
can ask
this the first time you heard this?
You can
ask
Suzanne
well, that's
that
the first time
exact
I heard
thing.
it. No, truly, if you had two,
The louder you get doesn't mean you're right.
If you said my other one is in the other car and you're only supposed to have one, then I can see him saying, "Oh, well then
that's
you
true.
can't have two."
That's exactly what happened.
But see, that was never
But
explained.
it still set her off.
Suzanne, one thing that Mark brought up that was never explained, because I explained the substance over form argument, and that the substance was correct. She was handicapped. It was hers, and even though it was expired, she wasn't hurting anything. But he brought up a whole new wrinkle that I never heard before. And she said to Chris, "Oh no, I have one that's not expired."
In her husband's car.
Yeah.
Or in her car. She had her husband's car.
But
It was in
apparently,
her car
and I
that was
don't
in the
know this.
auto shop.
Okay, but under those circumstances, apparently, if what you're saying, I don't know if it's true about only having one, but he's saying the law says you can only have one. And if that's true, then I would have said to Suzanne, I would have done that. I would have said, well, Suzanne, you're only supposed to have, Susan, you're only supposed to have one of these things. And if you
I
have
don't even
another
care.
one,
The woman was hunched over.
No.
Barely walked.
He didn't make her move.
I don't even
though.
care.
But he did make her move, did he?
Yes. He made her move the car.
Oh, now that's fucked
Yes,
up.
that was
Now-
absurd.
No, now
Yes,
that's
he
fucked
did.
up.
story.
He made her move the car
that
from a
is fucked
handicap,
up.
and he
That woman-
he offered to move it for her
No,
if she didn't
that
move
is
it.
fucked up, and it's on private property. No, that's
Do you
fucked
know we
up.
have another Omero Volkswagen problem?
You know what Tom does?
Yes.
I have learned when arguing with Tom, he will escalate his voice, thinking that if you're louder, you're
I said
right.
to Mark, the louder he
You're
is, the more right he is.
So listen,
George Stapleton,
he really
it wasn't a
What happens if
fact.
someone with a valid permit that had a worse handicap pulled up and that spot was taken?
It doesn't matter. It's first come, first served.
And what about the husband?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK.
713-TALK. Art of Granite is the place you go for countertops, a direct granite, quartz, and natural stone importer. And if you call up Mitch Fluria, here's what I love. You guys can't give prices on the phone, can you, Jeff? If somebody calls and says, I want to know exactly what this is going to cost, do you give prices?
You know, it's really hard. We can give price ranges.
Do you know that Art of Granite gives prices on the phone that will only... When you did it, Mark, how many dollars did it differ?
He didn't differ.
Okay, now...
And that was, listen, that was not just our mud room where he did the granite and the cabinets. It was also our bathroom and our kitchen.
See, I contend that most people can give accurate prices or a price range, as Jeff said. Now, Mitch, you know, obviously gives an estimate on the phone, but that's great, because if you like that estimate and you know it's not going to differ much, then you go to the showroom in Golden for wholesale countertop material, always wholesale on countertop material, custom edges, sinks, cabinets with a small markup direct from the manufacturer, and he can do the job from that point in 1 to 4 weeks. Artofgranite.net, he serves the mountain communities as well, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 303-386-5919. Get your quote, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. You know, as I said, commercials are part of the show here, not an interruption, but a part, because we talk about things that are crucial, like getting quotes on the phone. I think it's very important that people give quotes on the phone, and almost no one does it. Almost no one. 303-713-8255. I'm going to continue with Trish. Now, this is the way I hear it. Trish, your son, Eric, was in the park with some friends. A guy walks up and says, stay away from my sister, and beats him up. So, that's wrong. Obviously, it's wrong. But I was curious as to what led up to the incident, and then what is the purpose of the call. First, what was posted? What was the first post of concern that started this whole thing?
Well,
without using last names.
You want me to read the post? It's pretty inflammatory.
What does it say? And no vulgarity.
I want to put out a public service, dear Stapleton parents. I wanted to put out a public service announcement about a Stapleton 8th grader who I will not mention his name that continues to be a menace to our community and poses a danger to all of your children. And then then this post goes into a lot of rumors, as well as a specific incident where my son and...
So this post was aimed at your son, calling him a menace?
Right. And then he says, I warn all of you to have your children stay away from this kid.
Who was warning people that Eric is a menace? Who was doing it?
The man of a daughter who...
You mean a parent? An adult?
Yes, a parent.
Wow, this is weird. Did he name Eric by name? Oh, no, he did not name him.
Yeah, but everyone knew about it.
That's what I'm saying. How stupid is that? I want to warn you, but I'm not going to give you his name. How ridiculous. Right. So, anyway, after that post, then what happened?
A week later, this boy, who's 2 years older than my son and 100 pounds larger, came to my son just walking out of the blue, because my friends had no idea what.
Then what?
Or my son's friends had no idea what happened.
Then what?
Grabbed my son by the shirt.
And that's where he got him. Okay, but there were no posts in between.
Correct.
Then what did this boy mean by stay away from my sister? Something must have happened.
In the post, it was my son. It referred to an incident where my son and a group of kids were drinking, and this girl drank so much she ended up in the hospital. And her dad tried to charge my son with some sort of, I'm not sure what the charge was.
Okay, now I completely understand the context of this. We have to move on. I completely understand, Trish, so now we can talk about the incident. So, guys, do you get this? Obviously, and I'm not, remember, I'm not saying right, wrong, accurate, inaccurate. For argument's sake, here's what happened. The kid thought your son and his friends were responsible for getting his sister drunk and ending her up in the hospital, and he was pissed.
Negative. It wasn't his sister. It was his sister's friend.
His sister's friend. And then that's why he said, stay away from my sister, because he didn't want them around his sister or her friend.
Well,
now I understand. But now that doesn't matter. What are we talking about the incident? All I care about now, I just needed to know context because it means a lot. Okay, then he grabbed your son, beat him up. He was wrong. He should have been charged. Your son should have called the police. What happened?
What are we talking to? Like broken nose, broken bones? What are we talking?
How bad is, that's a good question. How bad is the assault?
The assault itself, it had a, my son was put on concussion watch, and he had abrasions.
Okay.
The choking was by accident, apparently. The police officer said through eyewitnesses.
So a police officer showed up, is that right?
No, police officer, well, yes, later, not during the incident. When my son came home, and he had all these, the injuries on him, and he explained what happened, we called the police.
Did your son fight back?
Yes, he attempted to fight back, but this kid was much larger.
Okay,
and
so how did it end?
Pull this kid off of my
Somebody pulled him off. Okay, so why are you calling? What do we need now? What's going on?
We have about $500 worth of expenses afterward.
I would be pissed off too.
The family originally said that they would pay it.
I would sue him
in
small claims court. It's that simple. Now, why do I always say that as far as small claims? Because no matter what we do, this is a parallel action that can do no harm. So because I don't know if we can pursue it. This is like family versus family. But
no, I've called the guy.
Okay,
I didn't dig into the story as much as you just did there.
Who did you call?
I called over to the realtor who is the father of the kid.
Okay.
That agreed to pay this. This is the part I don't understand. What's his name, Dan?
Tom.
This guy Tom agreed to pay for the the $500,
and he should.
And then all of a sudden he wouldn't pay. But I can't understand why he changed his mind.
Right? Why did he change his mind? Trish.
We don't know.
Okay. Trish,
yes?
When he agreed to pay, did he apologize for his son's action?
No, he did not.
Okay. Was his son charged?
The detective stated that through his eyewitness accounts, it did not match felony charge assault, but it did solve the requirements for the misdemeanor. And my son, he asked my son if he wanted to press charges, but my son did not want to go testify. He said that my son would have to testify in court.
See, if they went through with the charges, this would be a no-brainer.
Trish, I understand completely, and I think charges would help, but I think with all these eyewitnesses, I don't see how you can lose if you take him to small claims court. This guy's homeowners would cover it.
Yeah, everything that happened before, although no one condones any of that,
no,
it's going to have nothing to do with this.
Right. No, but the reason I ask about the context is there are times that, there are times people are totally unprovoked and they're dangerous and more action has to be taken.
Jump out of the bushes.
They're just weird. Yes, that's right. Or when you don't know someone. Believe it or not, that's the most dangerous stuff, is when people are just violent for no reason. And I'm not saying there's an excuse for it, but you are going to have no problem suing this guy for every dime. And Mark already called. What did he say to you?
Well, Dan called first.
Did he say he would pay now?
No, this guy Tom basically said no comment and hung up. Then I called back. And I didn't even get that far. He hung up. I mean...
And I can understand, because let's face this, it's a private situation. I mean, it really is none of our business.
We have neighbor versus neighbor constantly.
We do, but it's none of our business as far as
he's concerned.
When a guy's in business and we're warning that you people don't use, Dusty Lobsinger or Dave Anders or any of these guys at sleazebrigade.com. It's different.
This is a no-brainer in small claims court, though.
But Trish, what were you hoping we could do other than we did try to call to help? What else were you hoping we could do? Trish?
Yes.
What were you hoping we could do?
Call him again to see maybe if he would...
All right. Let's try one more time.
Come on there and
I think this time, let's give it to Deputy.
You made me think of something. You don't have to have her up.
Wait, hold your thought, Mark, and we'll come back to that.
Got it.
And I want to take the other calls before the end of the hour, and we'll do that. 303-713-TALK. Today is car day, so it's apropos that I mentioned Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair for rebuilt transmissions in-house and for the $89 find, fix, or free special. That's $89 plus parts, and they'll fix any problem. Or it's free. Now listen, if it is more than 89 plus parts and they can show you, they'll show you in writing and get a complete estimate. It's no joke. You will get something. And here's the reason we do this. You have a finite number you can put on there for labor. And then you can figure out what parts are, and you'll know if you're being overcharged. It's very simple. If you don't like it, you don't do it. If you do like it, you do it for 89 plus parts. And if they can't do it, you'll get a full written diagnostic. 303-781-9858, 781-9858. It's budget A1 transmission just south of Dartmouth on Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth.
But it's 2 plaques.
Okay.
Like that much?
It still doesn't matter.
It shopping?
It doesn't matter.
Shopping's
Now,
pretty good for
that-
lunch, say
why does that
shopping's-
matter if you can have 2 plates?
You can have 2 plaques,
Well, meaning,
1
no,
plate.
meaning that he had no reason to take it. And make the
Of
move.
course he did.
No, he didn't.
How do you know she didn't have 2 other ones then?
All right, well, then how do you know everyone doesn't?
Let's get Susan up here.
There was no reason to make her.
I want her on the stand.
It's just something we're never going to agree on. I just
She
think
should have
there was
been
no
thrown in
reason.
the damn pokey.
There was no
He went
reason.
easy on her.
There was no reason to make her move.
Okay, so he takes,
So he takes a sworn oath to uphold the handicapped law.
I bet she's not a sworn oath.
yes, of course it is. He's a deputy. So now he's supposed to not take his sworn oath because it hurts Tom's feelings. Huh?
I would bet like to do a sworn oath.
So the next time you get pulled over and he decides to let you off with a warning,
They're
you're going to bring up the whole thing. You're going to say, I'm getting that ticket is what you're telling me.
Jeff, that's parallel. That's a parallel. That's a
I
good one.
don't get pulled
That's a good
over.
point. I don't get pulled over. I don't get
Hey
pulled
guys,
over.
listen to this. There have been multiple incidents where this student has preyed on the vulnerable young ladies
Serious?
of our community.
This is
by
from the
meeting
father
them
of
at the
one
town
of them.
center and providing them with alcohol until they were blind drunk. And at least 2 separate documented incidents, he lured fellow students to the town center and had classic water ballers filled with gin and vodka. I wonder if their son is a troublemaker.
I wonder why the daughters aren't being
Well,
held
they're-
accountable for the fact that they drink it. They don't
Guys,
held down.
they're all the same age. It's not like
How
he's
old are
this
they?
24-year-old guy.
How old are they?
8th grade.
He was suspended from school for being drunk.
They're all 8th grade.
Okay, so the kid may be a problem, but I'm sorry. Nobody held you down and poured that shit down your throat, little girl.
No, unless
That's
now
not
if
The
you're,
same
now
incident
if you're
happened,
talking
listen,
in
the same
adult,
incident and charges filed against him for throwing a rock through the window of a business in town center.
That was an accident.
They believe his problem stemmed from his father's enforcement of handicap unnecessarily.
I didn't read it. Oh, there it is. It's in smaller print.
his troubles all started 9 months ago when his father was fired from a volunteer job.
Did he get fired for taking the placard? Did he?
He wasn't. He didn't work for us. He was a volunteer, and he did great. This guy would come in and help us
He
out.
actually was a good guy.
So he was
a
like,
great
like
guy.
Dan.
And Mark, the only reason I did that was she requested it.
Yo, I know. She's the one that has to live with him, not us. So. But Suzanne wanted nothing to do with him, man. I mean, I even tried, like, every which way I could. There was, I decided a long time ago, there's certain battles, just not going to go there. But I do bust her balls on it.
You should bust a ball at lunch. Say, okay, I'll buy you lunch, and then we'll.
I couldn't believe it, though, man. She wanted him gone so bad. But she was out there scofflawing around with a fake handicap pass.
But you didn't tell the whole story there because she had also told me, yeah, my husband parks in front of old folks' home in their handicap spot.
I know. And he's perfectly in good shape. In fact, he's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
Plays for the Broncos.
These stories always get bigger.
I know. By this time next year, well, who knows how this story's going to work out.
Who was the scofflaw? Who was the original
She was
scofflaw?
robbing a bank with her handicap purse.
Yeah.
Scofflaw.
Who was the original scofflaw?
Newman.
Newman? And what did they call him?
My white whale.
There you go. Good.
He's my white whale.
And that was from what? His white whale was from?
The cop. The market.
No.
Oh, remember that cop too had a patch? He had an eye patch, and he referred to Newman as the white whale. What are the chances? And then what did Kramer do in that episode?
Is that where he got the patch?
He went out and bought an eye patch because he thought the cop looked cool.
He would change it from side to side.
Monday morning at 6:08 right here on 630.
I wonder if anybody does wear an eye patch.
I want to be a pirate.
Purely just for wardrobe.
Hi, Tom Martino here. And I love Simply Floors. I get emails all the time about them, how great they are. You know, if you're looking for floor coverings of any kind, you can shop all you want, the big boxes, but simplyfloorsinc.com will beat their prices. And you don't just go for pricing. You go for the service. Buddy Mitchell and his team are just hell-bent on giving you the best service anywhere. And they have free designer services as well. 52nd and Ward is a showroom. You can go there and then make an appointment, or just make an appointment. The appointment is easy. You go to simplyfloorsinc.com. They have all the laminates and the luxury vinyl tile and all of that. Simplyfloorsinc.com.
You know,
yeah.
It's
Blaine, you're next.
I want to get right back to the phones,
yeah.
but I was just reading that. You realize you can get up to a $2,600 fine.
For what?
For an out-of-date placard, a handicap placard. Yeah, that was a on it right now. It's a really big deal in New York.
I'll tell you what pisses me off is people parking in handicap spots that aren't handicapped. I just bothers me. You see people using their grandmas or their uncles or aunts, or they just don't even have a placard. Do you know how many times I've been tempted to do it? I just can't bring myself to do it. Like it's late at night and I figure, what the hell? I'm running into Walgreens. Who's going to be here? And I don't know. I just can't bring myself to do it, but I want to. Hey, Blaine, what's going on?
Tom, what would be a good interest rate if I'd like to refi a home loan?
Okay, right now, they're hovering at about 4.5%. So when you say a good interest rate, what would be a good interest rate? 2% would be a good one.
Well, yeah.
Or are you asking me what they are? Right now, you know, Mark, what did you get in on?
Oh, but mine was at 15, 2.65.
God, that was years ago.
No, it was, when did we do that refi,
2 years,
Suzanne?
right? 2 years, right?
When was it? She's on the phone. I don't even think it was 2 years, but close.
Okay,
What's that?
When did we do our refi?
Oh, I don't know.
Like 18 months ago, maybe?
So here's the deal. If you go to, you know, Ideal Home Loans, they're going to quote you a great price because they are a direct lender. A lot of people say, well, that's impossible. All rates are rates. They're not. There are usually more costs associated with brokers than there are direct lenders. And direct lenders really don't hold your loan either. They just have money that they fund your loan, and once they fund it, then they sell it to the bond market. They may keep it for 30 days or more, but they don't do the long-term servicing. But it does cut out a lot of the costs. Costs can be earned in two ways, either with payments or fees up front, or over the life of the loan in an interest rate. So if you get an artificially low interest rate and it looks low, there may be costs that you need to look at. You need to look at everything. Okay. And one of the things I say to do when you're shopping is this, Blaine. You have a payoff amount, period, right? And you got to know the payoff. Then you have the new loan amount. I love doing this because, as I say, numbers never lie. Now listen to this, guys. You take the new loan amount and you subtract the payoff. Right?
Right.
Everything else is there for a reason. You better justify every penny. That, you know, and I'm not talking about prepaid like taxes and insurance. So you take the new loan amount and subtract the payoff, and then you have to justify every one of those dollars, and those are the dollars you compare to other lenders, and only those dollars. Of course, interest rates as well. We got more coming up.
Are you retired?
I love when you have a loan and people, they don't want you to look at that. You take the new loan amount and subtract that payoff. Okay,
Your kids were so excited. They wanted to call into the show. And I said, no. I said, the lines will be full. I said, but I go, here. And I said, I can't do anything because I don't touch my
They're
phone when I'm
excited because
driving.
I never inundated them with this. They're never
But they were so, they turned it up really loud. They're like, we have to listen to him. And they're like, is he talking right now? I said, no, this is a recorded
You know, when I used
commercial.
to do Channel 4 in the evenings, think how intelligent this I think it is. We have big screen TV, and I'm doing a live shot, and Dolce, she's a Filipina, would look around in the back of the TV to see. I mean, if you think about it, she thought I was in there. So she went, and she was looking for Daddy in this box.
Well, then they go, oh, he's doing a commercial. He's not going to say anything at the end of a commercial. And then you did, and they're like, yeah! So I sat with them until there were more people there.
You notice Fox always has women with legs, I call it, all the time in their panel.
But they give this
They're
one
smart, though.
right here a hard time because her legs are a little
Most of them
fuller.
are returned.
And she has MS. And I guess people were slamming her.
Does she have a handicap placard?
You know,
Jack, real quick before you retain all that, can you put this on my desk, and then Pete's will be here between 11:45 and noon.
okay, do you want me to put it in your locked drawer?
Yeah, just flip it. Yep.
Okay. And I guess Tom wants me to get the information about the boy that was beat up. No? Is there something said?
No, we're gonna have Daphne call him.
Might as well.
One more time, yeah.
I heard a little bit.
I'd like
The real estate agent?
Yeah. Yeah. Here, let me.
So that's the dad, he's a real estate agent, for the kid
Real
that beat
estate
him up?
and management company, yeah. That's what I say, why would you want your,
So you want me calling him
and he hung up on both me and Mark.
and find out why?
No, why he's not paying.
Arming some teachers. A guilty plea may be coming. Former Trump campaign aide Rick Gates is accused of...
Oh, that's why
The
we
judge
told
would
him
totally.
from the beginning.
So what do you want me to say to him?
See, ask him why he'll hang up on you. Say the Daphne and the Tom Martino show.
Treasury Chief Steve Mnuchin announcing another wave of sanctions.
Well, you know, this
against
letter
as President
is
Trump's
provoking.
donor and advisor in South Korea.
It's almost provoking as
closing ceremony.
It's like, don't, you know.
The one they posted, the Facebook post? Where's the letter at?
Did he send a letter out?
Yes, the lawyer's letter, yes.
Oh,
One
he
right here,
did?
yeah. His lawyer sent a letter.
To who?
To this dad, to this real.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. And he did. Should I forward that to you, or should I just give you the number?
Oh, just give me the number.
Okay.
Don't hang up on me. It's a big waste of my time, but all right.
So what do you say in the letter?
I need to go down and wait for Pete.
That, in fact, they were going to go for other
Important
damages.
stuff.
Here on the screen.
Or going big with mega doorbusters all weekend at Bell's.
303.
Because this Friday through Sunday, we've got mega savings
You
in
know,
store
we'll call
online.
69.
Like buy one, get two free on clearance items. Plus, super low some shoes,
Yeah, it'd be interesting to call him as an outsider.
Yeah, that'll be his business. And then you have to get
You have any accountability for your own freaking daughter's actions?
Okay. And,
He's not the daughter, he's the son that
No,
beat him up.
Yeah, listen,
So-
stay with his sister.
I don't think that matters. Plus, it's going to go, I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, good.
So he still has the sister that was.
But, I mean,
in-stock kitchen cabinets.
not the last New Year's, but the New Year's prior, my adopted daughter, she got all upset with my son because they were out partying, she got too drunk, he ended up having to call an ambulance for her and everything else. Well, he was supposed to be watching her. How the fuck do you figure that? No, that's the way I raised you. I don't think so.
So what's your next season coming up?
Turkey.
Oh, really? They're hard, aren't they?
Huh?
They're hard.
They can be. You know, so see, the property I'm on, it's archery only.
I always thought turkeys were ugly. They're some kind of cool looking. They got some.
They're freaking ugly as
They
sin.
got some cool color in some of them.
The males.
No,
They have a bunch of things, right?
The males do.
I never really paid attention. I just thought they were always ugly. But and he has all these turkeys. flying and stuff.
I'm marking
that
ideal
he
done.
killed.
You can see them all.
And
I'm marking ideal done.
Some of them have some cool colors. Some of them are pretty cool looking birds.
Showroom.
Like, you probably got the fan and stuff on your wall, right?
He'll get you a preliminary price, so you're not wasting your time. You'll see if it's in your budget, or they can adjust it to get into your budget. After that, you visit the showroom, pick out what you want, and they'll get you a specific price that will not change. Serving Metro and the
You did Genesis. Oh, no, you did.
You're a hunter.
I pretend to be. I just play one on TV.
And the older.
Oh, you're right. You Friday Golden. You're right, Golden. Okay.
What's your favorite?
303-386.
So what is your favorite?
This hour brought to you by.
I know they all have something that I like.
Okay, I'm going to do this hour brought to you by. It could be Raleigh House Fix It or Centeno. What do you think?
We just finished up with the Dark Year season.
Whatever you want, all good with me.
Season's open now, but I'm really not equipped for that.
But upland birds is good because it's more right. You can walk through and jump up.
I love doing pheasants, quail, checker.
That's nice scaffolding.
I got a really pretty.
It's got scaffolding. It's in my house, guys, putting on my ceiling fan.
Most of the pheasants
That's one thing, Mark. With tall ceilings.
But the emperor's a little bit smaller bird.
Oh, God, that's a pain in the ass. 20-foot ceiling, man. I mean, he's got a double-decker scaffolding.
You know, I had in my little. It had a chandelier in the hallway, and it was like 20, almost 28 feet. Yeah. And we had 26. We had a switch on the wall that would do this, and it would lower it.
Oh, the chandelier.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
The chain came out.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Then it went back up into the ceiling.
I just leave it dusty.
But no, it's for changing bulbs too.
Is that
But you know, now with LEDs, you can replace everything with LED. Even those chandeliers, you never.
No, his is
You
real.
can possibly live in a home and never change bulbs.
Do they have a problem with people with epilepsy or whatnot with LEDs
No,
because of the
his
flashing?
boss has some.
Because they cycle. They're not constant like a regular light. They cycle. You can't. If you don't look at it, just turn your head. You can see it.
But what would you put it up again? I never knew that. Stick it in there. I never paid attention.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and this hour brought to you by Fix It 24/7. What's on your mind today? How can we help you? That's what we're asking. We have Jeff Thick from Kimmer Transmission. We have Andy Barilla from Colorado Springs Dodge, and we're talking about cars, but not just cars. We never have a single topic show ever. But on Friday, we do call it Car Day because we talk mainly about cars, but we'll interweave anything you have. 303-713-TALK. And when it comes to Fix It 24/7, I love it. I absolutely love it. For $39, you'll get someone in your home, and it's only going to be $39 to find a problem no matter where and what it is when it comes to HVAC or plumbing. And you know, on cold days, you don't want someone hunting for a long time and having a $65 service charge or a $125 service charge. And I saw one invoice where they had a service charge plus charged on top of it. No, no, no. Fix It 24/7. We'll find the problem. A licensed, insured, bonded person, professional in your home, and then once they find the problem, they present you with options. If you decide to have work done, and by the way, you won't ever find a better price for the work they do and the value you get. If you decide to have it done, they waive the $39. If you don't want it done, the most you'll ever pay is $39. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com. Let's go to the phones, okay? Now, we went to Tracy, and I didn't go back to her, and I so apologize because I have her lease, and I looked at it. That's what I was waiting for, and it's hard to read in between the breaks. Anyway, so you have a place that you're renting, and your landlord is selling it. And what you asked a couple of questions. First of all, what is reasonable when it comes to showing? Reasonable is what people would call reasonable. And as I said, instead of trying to define the word reasonable, let's just go right to your problem. And courts have to determine what's reasonable. Judges do. But oftentimes, it's not that difficult. When is she asking for you to make the apartment available? Are you there? Did she hang up? Okay. She might have hung up, so I was looking at your lease, Tracy, so if you want to call back, I have it in front of me, and that's what I was doing in between breaks, okay? Now, Mark, we left with a thought. Do you remember what it was for you? You were mentioning something on the, okay, maybe not.
You mean before the show or
yeah,
what?
no, right before the break. I said just hold your thought, but that's okay. We'll move on. 303-713-8255 if it comes to you. I think we were talking about right before the break.
Yeah, what were we
It was that you read that handicapped. You said how bad it was in New York.
No,
where they were selling placards. Isn't
Anyway,
that it?
No, it was something after
Gent, you want to talk about a recent experience. What's going on?
Yes, sir. I dropped the car off with budget A1 transmission last night.
Oh, yeah?
Now, the good side of the story is they weren't able to fix it. What's even better is they were able to tell me before we, you know, I think any other shop would have experimented on it and cost us a lot of money.
That's a big problem. That's a big complaint we get about auto shops. And I know, Jeff, you were here one time when a woman said, well, I wouldn't have spent the money if. That's the clause. Well, if I had known. Sometimes it's impossible because you got to get it running, and then you find a deeper problem. So what did they do with you at Budget A1?
Well, ours was unique in the way that it was an aftermarket stereo install in a Volkswagen. And the PCM wasn't able to communicate with the rest of the modules because of the hack wiring job our stereo installer had done.
So aftermarket can ruin your computer communications?
Yes, sir, and it's on the internet about this vehicle specifically, and then it goes much further to.
Anyway, what did they do? Were they able? They weren't able to fix it, but they told you what was wrong.
Yes,
good.
They were able to accurately diagnose that as the cause.
Good.
That's the big thing.
Now, Lakewood Auto Electrics is pretty damn good when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yes, it was just logistics that kept me from going to Lakewood because I listened to your show and hear about them too.
Good people.
So,
well, I appreciate the call, Jen. Thank you for the feedback. Guys, have you seen aftermarket things that ruin that hurt?
Anything you're tapping into the cars these days can influence them.
So even if you tap into a 12-volt circuit somewhere,
we've seen as far as some of the insurance companies have these, plug this in and we monitor you.
The module.
Those can cause problems as far as the functionality of that vehicle. You are corrupting data. You're interrupting things. Anything you're tapping into cars these days, you better know what you're doing. You better know where you're tapping into.
Even a stereo, you can have people, they install a stereo, and it ruins, like, let's say, for example, their shifting patterns.
100%, yes.
Wow.
What's the problem today is you can't do much stereo changes anyway because the heater controls and everything is built into the same window as the radio.
Oh, I know. And here's another thing I find wonderful. Because many manufacturers put everything in the module, everything, because they can't afford to go and install stuff afterwards. If you decide you want it and pay for it, they activate it. And it's not even like they're not installing something. Like GPS right now is in every vehicle, okay? Most. So what I mean is, if you decide you want the GPS option, they don't install anything. They just go in and activate it. And you pay for it. Mercedes wants $800 to turn it on. That's what they're doing. It's still there. So there must be on the internet activation codes or things because it's a series usually. What is it? Of buttons on the stereo or
you're downloading a code. It's a software download. You're downloading a code into the module.
So you do have to tap in sometimes to the USB or something.
You do not. You just have, well, with us it's actually the same as the diagnostic port.
Oh, okay.
And you just do a download.
Okay.
It's a software download. That's all it is.
But in some though, they just hit a series of numbers on the I saw one guy in the stereo thing for the extra preamp or something that was an option. A guy that works for, this was years ago, that works for worked for a dealer, went in and he entered a programming mode by pressing 2 buttons and then tapped some numbers and bingo, he had a preamp. And it was already there. He just activated it. 303-713-TALK. George, what's going on? Again, O'Mara. You know what? I've said this before. Something changed at O'Mara, and we've never heard about them in the past, and we have been getting problem after problem. That doesn't mean they're all legit problems, but I will say this. There's a problem at O'Mara because of it. I don't know why, But George, what is your problem?
Hi, I'm the Reverend George Stapleton.
Hello.
And I had my wife and I decided she needed to get a newer car than her 1998 Plymouth Voyager, so we looked up what we'd like to have and found it at O'Mara Volkswagen.
Okay, and tell me the problem part of it.
Well, the problem part of it is that they sold me a 2010 Chrysler Town and Country, and in November, and they said they included a warranty with it if anything went wrong, and so I took it home, and sure enough, the transmission started slipping on me.
Wait. They said that they sold you a warranty, or did it come with a warranty? I'm not clear on it.
They sold me a warranty.
And you paid for the warranty. I'm looking on your invoice here. I don't see where you... Oh, yeah, $2,800.
Right.
For a service contract plus gap.
And then when I went to call the warranty people about the warranty, the mechanic it's called, they told me, well, you don't have a warranty, and it was never activated. So I went back to I went back to O'Mara, and they had not activated it, and they
now
had,
I'm not going to say this is a practice, a common practice, but we hear about this often in the automobile dealership world, where they collect the money and don't activate the warranty, hoping that nothing goes wrong. But I don't think O'Mara did this on purpose. I don't think so. What did they tell you when you asked about it? What did they say?
Well, I called them up about it.
I don't need the process. What did they say? Get right to that part. They said what?
They said, well, we did. You don't really have a warranty because the financiers refused to activate a warranty on the car, and
so that $2,800 they're showing, they did not charge you?
Well, they said they wrote me another contract, and I did go in and sign another contract, and they...
well, it's going to be easy to figure out what your loan balance is. Were you financing this $2,800?
Yes, I was financing the car.
All right, so this is going to be simple. Either you are going to have that $2,000...
This one does not have it.
Oh, wait, there are two...
I think he's saying, though, that this is really what sucks, though. He went in, he bought it with this warranty.
And he wanted the warranty.
Then he has a problem. They say, we never activated it. Come on back and sign this new contract. Is that correct?
That's right.
But did they say that, hold on, after the repair or before?
Before the repair.
Well, see that, Mark? They didn't do it because of the repair. They did it... So, in other words, you signed the initial contract when? Let me see it.
November 24.
And then on November 30th, you signed the new one.
They called me and said, you need to come in.
Well, then you did it.
Okay, I understand.
And then when was the breakdown?
But they didn't say...
When was the breakdown?
The breakdown happened about a week ago.
Okay, so you can't complain about this because you bought it without the warranty.
And the finance company wouldn't go that high on the vehicle.
Well, hold on. Why did you think you were signing a new contract?
They said they screwed up the paperwork, and I needed to sign a new contract.
And when you looked at the new contract, you did not notice.
I did not notice that they had taken off the warranty.
Well, you know what, George, there's nothing you can do about it. You agreed to this new contract.
Let me tell you what they did to me though. After that. After I told them that, I said, well, I'm going to go to Tom Martino because you didn't tell me what you were doing to me on this thing.
But George, as much as I want to help you, what did they say?
And they said, well, go right ahead. We don't care. And then, but then I talked to the manager.
They don't care.
And the manager said, well, if that's where you are, why don't you come back in? Let's see if we can't work out something.
And then what did they do? Anything?
And then I went back in, and they said, well, we're not interested in fixing the transmission on your car, because I told them, well, if you do that, and it'd be $2,000, then I would keep the car, and we'd be all right. And they said, well, we're not going to do that, but we'll put you in another car.
No.
So
you didn't do that.
You didn't
do that, did you? You didn't do it, did you?
No, they started working on it and put me in a new car.
Okay.
And then when we spent 7 hours there trying to get a payment we wanted, we walked in to sign the papers, and they said, well, you're going to be happy with this lease. And I said, what lease? We never talked about a lease at all.
George.
And they said, well, that's what we're talking about. I said, no, we're not. We got up and walked out.
Let's just cut. Okay, here's the deal. Okay, it's unfortunate what happened to you, but they clearly did not do this to cheat you.
Yeah, but they clearly sold him. They clearly sold him a piece of crap car for an extraordinary amount with a bad transmission.
Well, I didn't. That part I'm not getting into. I'm talking about the contract first. Now, I actually did not even look at the price here. What did he pay for that car?
Well, I'm going to pay
No, I don't want to know what you're going to pay.
$9,000 bucks.
$9,000.
Okay, $9,000 for a 2010 Chrysler guy. Okay, Andy,
How many miles are on it?
98,000.
So what do you think, guys? I mean, what do you mean it's outrageous?
Well, it's outrageous because the transmission failed, 60, 90 days later?
Less than that. It failed 60 days
What's
later.
wrong with the transmission?
Well, I took it into my mechanic, and he ran diagnostic on it, and everything's wrong with it.
Well, in other words, does he say you need a brand new transmission?
Or totally rebuilt one.
All right, hold on. They're not going to cover it under warranty because you didn't have a warranty, and I'm with them on it. Now, can they do something for you? Possibly. You were willing to pay $2,800 for the warranty. I wonder if, but you can't go... I don't. This is a club.
I go back to what the hell's going on with O'Mara, though.
I think we should call O'Mara, though, about this. We should. 303-713-TALK. We will call O'Mara. Centeno Schultz. Remember the name. Actually, you can also look up Regenex. That's the franchised part of it that Dr. Centeno started. You see, Dr. Centeno, he's the guru of stem cell therapy around the country. He has seminars attended by people all over the country, doctors who want to start a stem cell clinic because he was the first and he's simply the best. Centeno Schultz. And he has real, true, living stem cells. I'm going to say this, and I challenge anyone. And you notice, no one ever comes up to challenge me. Living stem cells cannot be shipped to a clinic. If you are going to a clinic and they did not extract the cells from you, they are not living stem cells, period. Centeno Schultz does it the right way. They're all MDs. They use living stem cells, and they use imagery for injections. These chiropractic offices with amniotic fluid don't come close. Please check out a true stem cell clinic. And because they're doctors, if stem cells don't work, they have other modalities because not everyone is a candidate for stem cells. Centeno Schultz for any painful joints or discomfort to put off surgery either temporarily or permanently. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201.
$5,000 to $7,000.
You know what? These guys, they got to do something. Both of them have been over 80-year-old guys that they've done this to.
This is terrible, man.
It is terrible.
What's going on?
This is O'Mara.
Well, who's going to call him?
I'll call him.
I want
they say.
I want you to
No, I never called him. Oh, you called him last time. The guy was an ass.
Mark, that was the ass.
That was the ass man.
No, that was Tynan's, right?
No, it was O'Mara, Volkswagen. O'Mara, Volkswagen.
Was it really?
Same place?
Where they shook, same place, where they shook hands.
We need to go to O'Mara, literally.
I agree.
And walk in and ask to talk to somebody. Say,
and tell them
what the
you're
fuck
80
is
years
going
old
on?
and see if you can sell a car and then see if
Mark,
they screw you.
I want to go up, you and I want to drive up, literally walk in and talk to people. Let's just talk. Can we get an semblance of problems that we've had? Can we like sum them up? Get a list. Who would keep that? Do you have it in your notes?
Well, pretty. O'Mara's only had two that I know. I was going to say, have you had a lot of them? Two of them last week. We've both over 80 years old.
Okay, let's do those two.
O'Mara's been around forever.
I know, but you know what?
I think that they would.
Who are the ones using our logos and shit? Was that them?
Was that them? Was it?
Yeah, but that was, I think.
Holy cow.
And I know, you're thinking the same thing I am, like with AutoNation. Yeah. It just sucks. It is what it is.
But like I said, I seriously, and then they tell the guy he's over 80 years old.
Hey, no.
What are they?
Hey, we have no audio on the
They told
timeline.
him nothing changed in the thing.
Drew, if you get that, we got to tell Carl or someone.
Now,
where's the guy who was going to help, by the way? Did he hang up? Who was on? It was George.
$1,000 for his trade.
No,
That's Reverend George. That's the guy you just talked to.
No, it wasn't. We weren't going to help him. Did we finish with him?
He says it's connected, but no audio coming through.
I don't know if you told him we're going to give him a call.
But I tried to talk this guy. Because he goes in a big store.
Why don't you go down there? You look 80.
Oh, that hurt. Fuck. Hey, I resemble that remark.
Hey, you can use my handicap permit.
One of them.
So the whole reason they re-signed him is because he couldn't have the contract too, huh?
Right, but see, this guy said his payments didn't change.
It had to change.
I know it. I told him that too, Andy. I says,
you can't dump $2,800. That's $2,800.
Yeah.
Does not change your payments?
Yeah. But what the okie doke I see is he said anyway, that they told him that we just screwed up in the paperwork.
$800, about $30 a month.
So what happened before up there is the old guy once again, he was co-signed for his son, and after being in there a while, he says, "Okay, wait, let's think about it."
Sure that he wanted to get the car. And then
So you heard about it, yeah. And then he said, "Okay," he said, "Go ahead, take the car for the night. We'll come back tomorrow." Now I told him, I said, "You should have grabbed his paperwork," but he didn't.
I mean, it's not like you just signed the deed.
No, you're exactly right. But like I say, these older guys are very trusting. You know, the word is a bond, the handshake deal, and everything. And that's where they're getting them. I think Romero sucks. Then when Mark talked to him, the guy, the general or the sales manager, started getting snotty with him.
Yeah, I heard him say that too.
Really? Yeah. Oh, man.
If anybody would know about hats.
Yes.
We got it. He's going on my
The fact is, security, health, education, holidays, travel,
Which is funny, like I say, two, in less than a week, same place, both old guys, both they said something, and you're right, people should have seen what they signed, absolutely.
The knowledge of how money works is called financial literacy. A recent survey
It's kind of funny, he actually told me when I said, "Okay, George," he goes, "I am the Red Smith."
You know, Mark says they sold him a 2000 $9,000 is got a bad transmission. I'm sorry, when they made that vehicle, it had a bad transmission. They got a battle for the Second Amendment.
That's not right.
Well, both cars stand for them.
Say it again?
Cracks heads, east valve, races only little electric toys. Forwards backwards, driver returns on foot.
Is it time you
Well, the Ford is fixed or repair daily.
It starts
Step backwards, the driver returns on foot.
Oh.
the How Money Works challenge.
Drive, I've never heard that one. You're up there.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, the best if you need real estate help in buying or selling real estate in the Denver metro area. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, let's keep going and see what we can do for you, all right? We just have so many good questions. Okay, Ed, go ahead, Ed.
Hello.
Hi, Ed.
Yes, hi. Hey, I know that you guys do not like automobile extended warranties. I've never had one. I think I'm in need of one. My car is reaching 100,000 miles. We just had it repaired, and fortunately it was covered under warranty. Which just saved me $1,400. But I know you guys don't like those warranties.
Well, that's not completely true. Here's the way I feel. If you're asking my opinion, because that's really all it is an opinion.
Absolutely.
There are no hard facts regarding warranties one way or the other, but I will say this. When it comes to new cars, extended warranties are usually concurrent to factory warranties and therefore useless. I don't know why a dealer can't say this. Look, you have a 3-year warranty. Here's a 5-year warranty that starts at the end of your current warranty. That's the problem I have with new car warranties. No matter what they say, they sing, they dance, they tap, they can't get around it. You are walking out with a warranty, and then they turn around and tell you you need an extended warranty on top of it. If you buy a 5-year at the time you buy a new car with a 3-year, you're only getting a 2-year because the first 3 years are concurrent coverage. It's a waste of money. That's number one, okay? So, a true extended warranty is an extended warranty on a new car. If I was going to buy one, it would be factory-backed only, or a major insurance company, and it would be at the end of my current warranty. And believe me, you will get emails and letters and even phone calls at the end offering you extended warranties at the end of your warranty. So there, that's how I look at new car warranties. There's one other thing that is a mysterious thing. It's called time in service, meaning many warranties start at the beginning of the service date, not at the beginning of the purchase. If you buy a car that's 2 years old, I had this happen to a woman. She bought a car 2 years old. She had a 5-year warranty. In 3 years it expired because they said they were retroactively covering it for the first 2 years of its life. Why? Because they cover manufacturer's defects. And their reasoning is anything that occurred that was growing during that time is going to be fixed. It's ridiculous. So that's another problem I have, the in-service date. The whole moral of the story is buy the extended warranty when it covers you, not with concurrent coverage or not for previous years. There is another thing too. With even any warranty, deductibles I don't like because they can find 5 problems and you pay 5 deductibles. It's not all in one visit. You don't pay a deductible per visit, you pay a deductible per item. Now a dealer can do it any way they want, probably, but usually that's the way they're written. Now that covers on newer cars. On used cars, never, ever, ever do I buy an extended warranty. It's that simple. So on new cars, you buy them at the end of the warranty when you know you've used that car properly. But with used cars, never. And here's why. When you buy a used car warranty, you will never, okay, it only covers manufacturer's defects. That's it. Not normal wear and tear. And not owner abuse. 98% of all problems are normal wear and tear and owner abuse, or, oh, there's another thing, pre-existing conditions. So that's 99% of all the problems they don't cover. They only cover manufacturer's defects. How many manufacturer's defects are there still there after that many miles on a used car? Another thing, on a used car, okay, you're going to have a problem in that it says when the cumulative total of repairs equals the market value of the car, you stop having coverage. That means you start adding up every single repair they've ever covered. And your car starts going down in value rapidly. When those two meet, you're done. So even though you buy a 5-year extended warranty on a used car, it's very possible you have no coverage. Because one bad thing goes wrong and it's done, and you get coverage for a year. So it's very simple. I never buy extended warranties for a used car, never will, ever. And on a new car, I would only buy it with a major company behind it or the manufacturer, and I would only buy it at the end of the factory warranty, and that's only if I was the one who owned the car during the warranty period. Does that answer the question?
Yes, certainly does. And we bought the car new back in 2008.
Good. And at the end of, so how long was your warranty in 2008?
100,000 miles, and I've got 93.5.
Well, hold on. Right. It's also years. It's not just miles. How many years was it?
10 years.
Okay. Now, okay. When you're expiring right now, you're an excellent candidate for a warranty. Are you getting hit up for warranties right now?
No, we actually asked them about it when we were there.
And what did they say?
The one guy said we should consider, well, they want $3,400.
For how long?
For 42 months or 42,000 miles.
No, I wouldn't do that. But you can find better deals. You can shop.
I thought so too.
But be very careful, Ed, because as soon as the underwriter's gone, you're done. They're not like insurance companies. They don't require a lot of, they don't require any bonding like normal stuff. Okay, listen, Greg has a noise. I hate noises. Greg, what is your noise issue?
Hi, I bought a 2017 Dodge Voyager all-wheel drive SUV in January. I bought it in Chicago. I had my brother test drive it at an Infiniti dealership, said it was fine. He took it to a Firestone.
Okay, so let's get to the part where you got a problem.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a problem. There is a constant noise. Once I start to accelerate, there's a constant noise that sounds like it's coming from transmission tires.
Okay, and does it happen at all speeds?
All speeds, and the hum is the same no matter what the
So the
speed
noise
is.
does not change with the speed?
Correct.
Okay, let's ruminate on this. I'm going to get back to our car experts on exactly what it is right after I tell you about Century RV. If you're looking for a real vacation, get it? RV, real vacation. Go to Century RV now in Lakewood, in addition to their north location at I-25 and the 119 exit. They also have a Lakewood facility, 32,000 square foot of indoor comfort, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, right next to Woodley's. That's CentryRV.com if you want to find out more. And they have the largest selection of used RVs. They have new RVs as well. In fact, they have camper trailers, brand new, under 10 grand. Give them a call, 303-453-1111, or stop by and visit. That's on 6th Avenue next to Woodley's between Kipling and Sims.
Kitchen cabinets and more, but now it's even better. We do granite. We have the best deal around.
We got furniture coming tomorrow morning.
What furniture is that?
It's our office. We're almost done too, man.
And ready to install.
We're pretty much brand new furniture.
Headquarters with the best prices anywhere. Visit our showroom
There's a couple of years.
Washington Street, Denver, or online at
You won't be coming in anymore?
You'll be thrilled with the thousands you save.
That is.
Two things happen when you get a deal.
You'll need to stop by and set up this video.
Yeah, we'll have a camera from there.
Yeah.
Just listen. If I'm snoring, don't get me on there.
Just listen to the recording.
That's 429.
I'm contemplating a new computer, but I think I'm going to wait. What do you mean not available?
Unavailable.
What's that?
This phone call.
Oh, I hate those.
Usually it's,
Mine finds
in a lot of cases, like the other day I got an unavailable call. It was a cop. It was a policeman.
I finally got one of these watches, man.
I'm thinking about doing that, getting a watch.
I have one too, and I don't know what it is.
The reason being, you don't have to worry about putting your phone. You just leave your phone at home. I mean,
Well, I don't know what's the. I never checked my mark. What's the distance?
Suzanne has cellular model, which I didn't want. Hers distance is forever and a day.
Is it really?
Just like a regular phone.
Mine, I just got mine.
I mean, you can talk on mine and stuff. I don't know what the distance is.
Mine's about, from my phone, probably.
I want to be able to see, because I don't think, with mine, I don't think you can do that. I think if I leave it in my office and I walk into the shop, I lose it.
No, you would lose it for sure. No, but you can buy a, you have an iPhone or what? Yeah, the Samsung has cellular.
Why wouldn't you want that? To leave your phone at home?
Because I don't want to pay the other $10 a month.
Is that what it is?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what hers is. Hers works great when she's like in yoga. That's really, if she didn't go to yoga, she wouldn't have it. Because the lockers are so far.
Yeah.
But like I told her, I said, my God, for an hour, who gives a fuck? I mean, what kind of emergencies are going to be?
I use my phone only pretty much for text and talk.
Here's what I like about it. I like all the health benefits. It's telling me how I sleep and my heart rate.
Yeah, same thing.
If I sit long enough, it'll say, get the fuck up.
Tells you get up.
It'll slap you, put a hand up.
It says, wait a minute, you're sitting next to stupid.
I'm stupid.
I want to get a shirt like that, but it'll point to Tom. I wonder if he'll get pissed.
They kind of sit up there and say, as he goes out the door.
It'd be funny if he had his shirt on under his sweatshirt that said, "I'm with Stupider."
Back at you.
Back at you. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me, it sticks to you.
You know, that's the kind of shit that when we were kids, that was innocent shit right there. You know what I mean? Now it's
is more mature than an 8th grade boy. I've had them both. And I'm telling you, Addie was way more mature in 8th grade than Miles ever was.
Oh, so was I.
So they knew not to go fucking. She knows not to go drinking. Don't you agree with that? An 8th grade girl is going to be more mature than an 8th grade boy in almost every circumstance. So when this 8th grade boy is, quote, luring girls to the park to drink,
Right.
I mean, maybe the girls are luring him.
Right.
Now the boy's hormones are kicking up way more. There's no doubt about that.
Those girls ain't doing nothing. They don't want to do.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's ridiculous. And then for a father to go write that on there, that sounds like a big war ready to happen.
Are you saying hashtag #MeToo is not valid?
Dan tried to lure Tom to the park one time.
It's funny, you don't look like a 16-year-old girl.
We were talking one day, we all dated
Yeah,
we all dated 14-year-old girls. Happened to be 14 when we were doing it.
The greatest thing about getting your dates at the high school is they never change age.
That's the best line in that movie.
That's what I love about high school girls. I keep getting older and they stay the same age.
People can
What was that? What show was that?
Oh, it's a great movie. It was, I can picture it. It's a classic, man. High school movie.
Dumb and Dumber, isn't it?
No, I'll figure it out. You've seen
Say
it.
what you want about pedophiles, but they don't get speeding tickets in school zones.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, and we have a very rare opening at Golden Orchard. Golden Orchard is an assisted living facility. Unlike most, first of all, it was not a converted house. It's built from the ground up to be assisted living. Nice, roomy accommodations, beautiful rooms. You can use your own furniture or theirs. They even allow pets and couples. So, here's the deal. For one rent, everything is covered. They don't have separate fees or invoicing, so you have even Alzheimer's care, dementia, memory care, and snacks, meals, activities, outings, field trips, all covered from $4 to $5 grand depending on the facility, and they only have a few openings left. They have 2 Centennial homes and 1 in Wheat Ridge, 303-795-0784, goldenorchard.com. It's that easy to find.
You know, they actually created these homes especially made for this exact thing.
I know, that's what's cool about it.
But they designed them themselves, and they've designed them for other companies that do the same thing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, they build for others as well. So let's talk to, didn't we leave off with Greg here?
We sure did.
Greg, go ahead, sir.
Hi. Have a noise. It's an all-wheel drive 2017 Dodge Voyager.
Right.
16,000 miles. Bought it used. Had it checked out at a Firestone. They said all it needed was an alignment. There seems to be a constant hum while it is under power, while it's being driven.
Right, and it doesn't change. It's just a hum.
Correct.
Does it sound like a mechanical hum or an electrical buzz or anything?
Does it go away when you go left or right?
No, it does not vary. I've looked it up on the internet, and they said it may be tire wear.
Does the vehicle have to be in motion or just running?
Has to be in motion.
So when you start it up, it doesn't start, but when you start moving, it starts immediately.
Correct.
It could be a tire sound.
It could be.
But he says, wait, tire sounds, don't they change with the speed?
They can, and when you drive it, does the noise get louder or more frequent as you get higher in speed?
No, it seems to be constant whether I'm at 35 or 70.
And have you noticed a change when you're going from concrete to asphalt?
Can't tell you. That's something I'm going to have to check for.
I mean, if you get a pitch change or if it seems to change at all, changing those two surfaces, then I'd definitely say that you're onto tires.
Okay, and it's still under warranty, so I probably should call a dealership and have it looked at.
They're not going to do anything. If it is tires, they're not going to do anything about that.
No, I'm not worried if it's tires.
It would be a great idea to get them to look at it, though, to check it. They're not going to charge you, obviously. It's under warranty. I'd have them check it. I would, without a doubt. Where do you live? What area?
Louisville.
Oh, wow. Your ways. Okay. I'd get
Jeff, you going to head up there after the show?
Yeah,
to a dealer.
Listen, noises, I think noises are the easiest things to fix because the mechanic can just drive it.
You can isolate them
if they hear it, but I mean, anybody that's been in the auto business for a while always has that one nut that comes in and no one can hear it but
as
them.
you say, the nut behind the wheel. The one thing that is the worst to diagnose would be wind noise, that where's air leakage. Oh my God. That'll drive you crazy. Bruce, what's going on in your life? Hello, Bruce.
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
Yeah, well, I've got praised for Fix It 27.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, I had them come out, do the $39 for...
the check and cleaning?
Furnace check and cleaning. And
you're blown away, I'll bet.
I thought it was great. I mean, they were very professional. He put the booties on his feet, the whole thing.
But the level of adjustments and clean and stuff, you feel like you have a freaking rebuilt furnace.
It was amazing how they check things out. It's like,
I know.
Okay, you've got this one small thing that might cause you a problem sometime in the future, but it's not an emergency.
Good. They're honest. And I have a very curious question. I'm just curious. Did during their visit, did they do anything else? Anything extra? Anything at all? I'm just curious more than anything. I'm just asking.
Well, they did a check for carbon monoxide.
Okay.
That was
All
great.
Right. Good. Okay, cool. And I'm glad that you love the service. See, I love outstanding service where people feel compelled to call. That's great. Thank you very much. Fix It 24/7. Okay, so Harry has a question about technology and new cars. Go ahead, Harry.
Yes, Tom.
Hi, Harry.
I love your show. I've been listening for decades.
Thank you.
I'm been looking at new mid-sized cars like the Ford Fusion, the Chevy Malibu.
I love them.
The Nissan Altima, maybe.
Do you know what I love? I love how it used to be you had to have an expensive car to get all the technology. And now it seems like they all have a basic level of really good technology.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. None of them are bad cars, but what I'm concerned about is a relatively new technology in these cars that called the auto stop start feature.
Oh, yeah, safety. It's great stuff, man.
Now hold on. The auto. I think he's talking about the ecosystem. Like
oh my God, the Chevy Cruise. I hated.
I call it the golf cart mode.
Every time I come to a stop in that Chevy Cruze, I was in a rental when we got T-boned.
It's weird.
Well, the air conditioner would freaking get warm because the engine would turn off. It drove me nuts.
There are features in there where you can disable that feature while you're driving it. If the personal driver who doesn't like it, maybe it's a hot day, you want the air conditioning working all the time, whatever the case, you don't have to use it all the time.
I've never found mine going warm or the air conditioner, but I do love the feature.
I'm concerned about the long-term problems. Like, I mean, it can't be good for the starter.
It's not. It doesn't use the starter.
It's not a starter like you're thinking.
It's not, and I don't even know how it works, but I know this. It's so freaking instantaneous, and I did some experimenting in the Starbucks line. If you, when you take your foot off the brake, is when it starts. It's the brake activated, right?
That is correct.
Okay, but what is happening when I remove my foot from the brake?
It actually does restart, literally. So yes, you're right. It's a different type of feature where it fires it back up, but it actually does have to restart it. It's the same method,
but it's not. Is it really just a starter?
It's so instantaneous.
It is.
Though.
It is. It's just quick. It's quicker. It's just so much.
And when it
quicker.
shuts it down, it doesn't.
You hardly feel it. It's amazing. I drove one night before last, and it was interesting.
All
it's so
cars
different.
are doing it. You can disable it though, Harry.
Yeah, I was just wondering about long-term.
Like, does it wear the car out?
I wouldn't worry about that because it isn't going to. I mean, when you look at today's technology and all the computers and everything else that you're working with anyway, it isn't going to make a difference from one to the other.
Does it really save gas?
They say it does. I mean, obviously it has to make a difference. I just don't know how much difference.
I've been fighting big time. We were going to get Suzanne a new Santa Fe this year, but the problem is next year the Genesis wagon's coming out, or the SUV, and it's going to be able to drive itself, steer itself. So don't you just wait a year? I mean, wouldn't you? He's talking about technology.
Yeah,
well, a year from now, this thing's going to...
Is she actually that bad of a driver? You want the car to drive forward?
Yes.
You're afraid of her?
Yes. Don't make me go back in time.
Now, so Harry, I wouldn't worry about it, and it doesn't matter because most of this stuff you can deactivate. John, 95 Mazda. I'm just going to put it on hold because there's background noise. So John, we're coming to you next, okay? Just hang on, and right after this break, I'm going to come to you. Are you there, John?
Okay.
Okay, now, this 95 Mazda RX-7, so we can start thinking about it, you want to try to find a value?
Ooh, I had one.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some good tricks on that to find accurate values. If you stick around, we can tell you that. All right, 303-713-8255, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. You want home improvements? You don't want to get ripped off? You want someone who's honest and really just a good guy and someone who will take care of you? We're talking about Genesis Total Exteriors. Now, the name implies exteriors, which they do, but they also do interiors. Of course, you can have everything done, from kitchens to bathrooms, basements, pop-tops to siding and windows and gutters and roofing. GenesisTotalExteriors.com. And you may have to wait, but you wait for quality. You never have to worry about taking money up front and disappearing. 303-679-8509.
Plug into Kelly Blue Book.
They don't go back that far.
Yeah, they do, but all the same, I do try to push it in there. It doesn't come up.
It doesn't?
But there's going to be no
But Auto Trader, depending on the quality, depending on the
were you searching a while ago?
Yeah, we took a look
They
at
got a bunch of
because they need to look at
oil rigs.
But depending on what features they have on there, what its mileage is, the condition of the car, I saw them ranging anywhere on there from 12 to 36,000.
They don't get very gas mileage.
No, not for how small they are. But they're turbos.
Both were very, very good.
Daphne called that Tom guy. Hung up on her, too.
Oh, my God. They're just hanging up on the whole town.
Well, we don't have to go to war with him. He's not a business. I'm sorry.
He's not a businessman?
I said the same thing. I'd like to, but it's simply not fair. It's a private. We don't know what. Wow.
Well, I don't know why he didn't want to just go with small claims court. I think
he is now, I'm sure. Well, here's why I wouldn't. Here's why I wouldn't have pressed charges. Because when they have that kid on the stand, they're going to get him for underage drinking. They're going to get him for all kinds of shit. I would. I would.
Yeah, but in small claims, you can't really...
No, I'm not talking small claims. I'm saying if they went after him criminally, the kid that punched him, if the cops filed charges, if the kid agreed to file charges, when that kid is a witness on the stand, and they talk about the real thing, he's going to literally have to answer those questions, like, well, why? Isn't it true that you lured young girls, blah, blah, blah.
You're right. But
remember, they're both underage.
You can, what is that to a minor? Yeah, a minor can contribute to the delinquency of another minor.
Did they pass that law now to protect some of the kids who were passing around some of the sexting photos, so that as long as they didn't share it with others, they were protected? But
no, that was called. Remember that call?
Well, no, but there was a Colorado lawmaker that was trying to get it changed because it was ruining so many other kids' lives. So that, okay, yeah, we may not agree that little Amy should be sending Timmy these pictures, but Amy chose to send those. So they're both minors, and as long as Timmy doesn't turn around and start passing out, he was protected against getting in trouble.
I think it's a one-way thing.
Yeah.
I think it just goes for guys, not girls.
No, I'm certain. Girls typically won't share that stuff anyway. Girls typically don't want to see it.
In your school, they must have shared. That girl must have shared.
Bella don't seem to be as visually. Her name was Bella. She sent it to one boy. The one boy sent it to multiple boys. The one boy that sent it to multiple boys got expelled. Expelled? Expelled. Why am I thinking? Oh, suspended or expelled. Yeah. Got expelled
She didn't get in any trouble because she was a victim, even though she's the one that took it and sent it, which for the life of me. The other kids got in trouble. I don't even think they got suspended, though. So, the one that got
Did they end
most
up having
trouble...
to go through all the sex classes and all the other...
Oh, it's worse than that.
The other kids maybe, but the one that got expelled, I mean, he was in trouble with the cops. I mean, he was in real trouble. And this was 8th grade. It was junior high, 7th or 8th grade. But the part that blew me away, now, if it was a boy that took a picture of his junk and sent it to some girl,
he would get in trouble.
is he not the victim as well then, right? I mean, that's the part I don't get.
Pizza will be here in about 15 minutes.
Hey, that deal in junior high with Bella, she literally took the photo of herself, sent it to the boy that got expelled for sending it to other kids, right?
Addie's friend, Bella?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Remember the topless photo she sent, and the one kid got expelled?
Are you shitting me? This young girl sent a topless photo.
Oh, come send one to my son. And about 12 years old, and she had a rat.
She better delete it.
I thought Tom was going to say, we bought the parents in and everything and sat them down.
Oh, that's wrong, man.
Well, but what was your question?
Well, somehow she didn't get expelled, but the other kid did. And she's the one that sent it. I just find it
I
baffling.
thought she got suspended. I don't know.
Well, see, the other way around, too, is if a boy had sent that to a girl, they might have doubled down on that. And it's also sent sexual harassment charges on them as well.
I know.
Now you get the hashtag me too, you're saying.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
So, John, let's talk about value. When you find value for a car, if the books don't go back that far, what you have to do is go by what's called comparables in the marketplace, and that's not what they're asking, but what they're selling for, and that's just sheer old-fashioned research. Mark?
Well, it's beyond that, because the reality is, I don't care if there's a blue book or not, the value of that vehicle is what someone else is willing to pay for it. And when you're talking about something like an RX-7, that's going to be more so because it's a unique vehicle.
What's unique about it?
It's got a rotary engine, and a lot of them are turbos.
Rotary engines, why didn't they ever catch on? They're such logical engines.
Well, not all of them did have rotary engines.
No, I know, but why didn't they catch on? They're logical engines.
When Wankel first designed it, he had a problem with a coolant leak into the combustion chamber. And he told Mazda flat out, I've got a problem here, I don't want to release it yet. Mazda said, well, we'll pay for it, and then we'll fix the problem before we put it on the market, and they never did. They actually had...
So why does it leak more so than another kind of car?
It was a seal problem that they hadn't fixed yet.
Okay.
So while these things were running, they would actually get antifreeze into the combustion chamber.
Right.
Customers would have to pull spark plugs before they could fire it up. Had huge problems with it. Mazda actually ran a campaign because people were so disillusioned with them. And if they brought their car in, they would put a V6 in place of that Wankel engine and put them back on the road.
So, John, do you have one of these cars?
My father-in-law has one.
How many miles?
It's under 40,000.
What, on a 95 Mazda?
Yes.
Wow. Is it good looking?
It's black on black leather interior.
Let's try to sell it right here. I mean, why not, right? I mean,
is it a turbo?
Yes.
That's a nice engine, but there's so few miles. Does he even drive it?
He has stopped driving it because he can't handle it anymore.
They're cute cars. They're cute cars. Do you know how much he's looking? I mean, he's got really under 50,000 miles. This is incredible.
25 to 35 grand, I would just totally guess.
No, that much? Holy crap, I wouldn't guess that much.
Well, I looked online at, I forget what it was. There was one on there, 32,000.
Wow. Why? Are they top performers?
No, I'm talking the condition. His is it? No, they're a collectible to some people.
Okay. Yeah, it's more
black on black.
It's not an everyday driver unless you're some rich.
Sell it for what you can get for it, or what he can get for it. List it high.
What would be the best venue to sell it on?
eBay.
eBay?
For one of those, I would go to eBay because you'll get all kinds of collectors.
I would try.
Blinker. Of course. Blinker, well...
There's no harm.
Yeah, and there's no harm at all because it's free. Blinker, and they keep everyone straight and legit. That's the part I like. And
they can offer financing.
Exactly. That's the important part. So that part is, that part is good, Blinker. I don't think I don't think people. I don't know. I don't know if the people are going there to look for classic or older cars. But as Mark said, there's no harm, no foul. When it goes to eBay, eBay is great for this kind of thing.
You know, years ago, being the caring, gracious husband that I am,
yes,
my wife's sister needed a vehicle. So they drove out to Georgia, and I gave her our RX-7, and it was a 91, not a 95. Just gave it to her. She just
had an
married.
RX-7.
Yep, and they needed a car. So I literally gave it to her. They stayed for a couple days, so they drove out in theirs, drove back. She drove that one. He drove theirs. They get all the way back to Atlanta. She runs into him and destroys both cars.
Oh, no. All right, listen. Every one of you I will get to, including Bruce is first, coming back after the break because he's been waiting. I'm Tom Martino. This is Car Day, but we'll talk about anything you want. 303-713-TALK.
Attention, this is an investor notice. Are you
destroyed both cars? She crashed. No, they didn't have insurance.
Was it domestic?
No. It was stupid.
It was stupid. Not supposed to bring it up, you said. Quit bringing it up.
They'll even show you how to do this inside your own retirement.
Oh, cool.
So if you're
It was unbelievable.
then call 1-800.
But she's the same one that, okay, so I felt like I got suckered in that deal because they're idiots. So then, her next husband, different husband, her next husband is just a bum. He decides he's going to get his shit together. He gets into AA. He's clean for like maybe a year. I mean, he did pretty good. And when I say he was off the charts, it wasn't even like, he wasn't functioning at all. The guy was like running through the woods naked.
Oh, wow.
Oh, crazy. Monica's second husband. Yeah. I said, that's crazy. I wouldn't get drunk if I was doing that. So, he calls up. I've been really good lately.
Did you have 8 great kids?
Can I please borrow money to start a painting business? I need to go out and buy a couple sprayers and some other stuff. So, well, I wasn't going to give him the money because I figured he'd spend it on something else. So I said, but I'll tell you what, go down to Home Depot, pick out what you need, have them call me, and I'll pay for it on my Home Depot card. So I do exactly that. That fucking asshole went down, picked it up, and pawned the shit.
I knew you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say
I would have been way better off just giving him the $150 he pawned my $1,500 worth of shit for.
Why didn't he just be smart and take it back to the Depot and get the
Because they only give a credit back to my credit
Not
card.
back then they didn't, would they?
Nowadays they aren't.
That was a
Nowadays
huge scam with Home Depot and Lowe's, and there was a lot of the motorcycle gangs would actually go in there. They steal product, take it back, yeah, and then they give sometimes they give you just in-store credit.
It's
just go out in the parking lot. I've got $500 worth of in-store credit. I'll sell you for $300.
Right. I see that.
You're right. That's actually that's how he should have fucked me. But he decided to fuck me a different way.
Did you go to the pawn shop and
actually, I don't even know how much he got for it ultimately. He might have done something like that. All I know is the shit was gone.
Asked for it back?
No, I never got paid back on that. That was her second husband. He's gone now. Actually, he just got out of jail again. Her third husband is actually, so at this point she's like she's higher 30s. She got her tubes tied, thank God, with the second husband. She didn't want any more kids. New husband wanted kids, so she goes in and gets her tubes untied. He's in the military. Military pays for this shit. I didn't realize that. When they did a good job tying her tubes, so they couldn't untie them. So they paid for the in vitro, which is, usually 20, 30 grand, and she's pregnant again now.
Wow. They tied them too good. They put a big old square knot in there.
Actually,
Boy Guy was a Boy Scout.
They singe them. That's how they destroy it. They singe them. Same with
that's what
they did to me. They cut, tie, singe. That's got to be some strong ass sperm getting through that shit.
That guy wants to come.
It hurt me I was in pain for a year. I literally was so freaked out right afterwards. I said, let's take a vacation. So we hopped in the car and drove to California. By the time I was done with that road trip, I was in so much pain. It was unbelievable.
That was not a smart
move. It was
move,
the dumbest thing I think I might have done.
Chill out.
Yeah, you're not
I just got a 6-pack of beer, a few Red Box movies.
That was me.
It was legitimately
Trying to factor into a playground.
where I was all right.
Went in on Friday and I was cranking on Monday.
It didn't hurt like when I walked and shit. The only time it hurts when I busted a fucking nut. It hurt like
Really?
and then it went away after about a year. I had a buddy, Greg, worked for me years ago, man, in a computer store. He got what they called a graniola or something. His balls swelled up like this big, man.
No doubt.
Oh my God, he was literally at home on medication in the tub like 24/7 because of this thing. Couple of days and it went down to swelling. I think it was called a graniola or something along that line.
Hey Tom, I'm looking at a good whiteboard. I think you should get through here. Might as well get it.
The Trading Group Show, Sundays at 3, or call 888-955-4004
It looks for $100. It does all kinds of stuff.
financial planning with a focus on forward-looking
From 38 by 70.
retirement in Colorado.
That's pretty. That's 38 by.
Guilty for the fiduciary difference.
Yeah, everything's like prior to anything with Trump, though. It's so funny.
Man, they make it cold. It's
They cannot.
it's
Do you
humorous.
know the
No
last time they
president
got indicted
has
was
ever been attacked
from shit they did like in 2012.
Well, maybe Hoover back then.
Didn't he dress up as the? Didn't Hoover dress up as a woman? Oh no, that was
J. Edgar.
J. Edgar.
J. Edgar.
Didn't Lincoln wasn't he a cross-dresser?
You know, back then they hated Lincoln. The people in the U.S. did not like Lincoln.
Too tall.
No, the beard. It was the beard.
A lot of, historically,
They didn't work good at the time.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
you're absolutely right.
Historically, what?
During
If they were
the
good,
presidency, they weren't considered
weren't
good.
popular. Reagan's, people made fun of him for Reaganomics,
Oh,
and
man.
Star Wars, and all the other stuff.
Oh, big time. His big one was Iran-Contra.
But he was so funny. Reagan had such a quick wit.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Well, that's for all the years of life.
Yes, yes.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are here to help you. One of the things that I talk about here is the Raleigh House. This hour brought to you by the Raleigh House, and I want to make it very clear that the Raleigh House is a treatment addiction center, a treatment addiction program, and this number I'm going to give you is for information. It's important you know that. What I mean by that is it's not to try to get you to buy into that place. It's not a sales job. They're not going to try to sell you or get you to sign up. It's for people who need information, like everyone who calls the show here. And I'm going to get to Albert, who wants to talk about Integra Insurance. Scott wants to talk about Scott's Carpet and Decorating. He is a new referral list member, wants to talk about customer service. Bruce, I'm going to take next. He held yesterday. And then David, he wants to talk about the referral list. So welcome to the show. And this number for Raleigh House, if you know of an addict in your life or suspect it, you can call this number. No holds barred. Any question about any issue relating to addiction, they will answer. Free, confidential, no obligation. You can call as a group, you can call individually. If you're an addict, you can call, or you can call with your addict. How do I approach an addict? How do I know there is a problem? What do I look for? How much does it cost? Does insurance cover it? How long does it take? How many different programs are there? What does the Raleigh House do? Tell me, are there any free programs? Is there anything I can do right now before getting into program? How do I approach an addict? You see these questions? There are millions of them. What you can do, well, there are hundreds of them. If you can find time to call, you may save a life, because addiction will never get better on its own, ever. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. So, Bruce, thank you very much for calling. You bring up a very important issue. Go ahead, sir.
Thanks for taking my call, Tom. I love the show.
Thanks.
My question is an email a legal and binding agreement? I had a customer that I've been emailing back and forth with on a settlement for a cost on some work that we did. And she agreed to it, said that's okay. I sent her a certified check. And when she said we, it was her and her daughter. We did work for their house. And now her daughter, 5 days after we got the email and I sent her a certified check and everything was done, daughter comes back and is saying through a text message that, hey, I don't agree to this. I never agreed to this. I want more money. What do I do?
Okay. First of all contracts, unless specified by law, there are some contracts, like real estate, where the law says it must be in writing. The law says that. And some laws require specific state forms be used. Other than that, in general contracts and general contract law, any agreement is enforceable, even verbally, if the terms and conditions were agreed upon and can be proven. That's it. So, it could be email, could be text, but here's the problem with text and email. You can't, honest to God, know if really they challenge it right down to court and the Supreme Court. I mean, if we're really going to, because what we're talking about, I said any agreement can be enforced where terms and conditions have been agreed to and can be proven. So what would be a defense? I'm going to ask, we have guests today, by the way, for Car Day. It's Car Day. Jeff Vick, Kimmer Transmission, Andy Barella, Colorado Springs Dodge. What would be the first defense on an email contract? What do you think? What comes to mind? Anything? And just saying I'm not going to do it.
Well, without seeing the text, what do you mean just saying I'm not going to do it?
Email contract. They said I'm going to pay you this for this, and then they changed their mind. There's a difference between changing minds and just saying I'm not going to do it. The very first and obvious thing, how do you know they wrote the email? Just because it came from their email account does not prove it. So therefore, when you want to make it legal, some companies do something like this. They record an IP, a time of day, where you are.
That's like any contract. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they use.
That's right. So with any contract, what are they trying to do, Mark? They're trying to make it provable.
Yeah, a lot of those e-signature accounts, I mean, if you buy a house, you sign a lot of your stuff like that now.
But they would have this, they could have the same argument. It wasn't me. Here's the deal. It's reasonableness again. Can it be proven? But you have a bigger problem than that. Because let's say that woman admits she agreed to it. Okay? Well, if she admits she agreed to it, and you have an email, she agreed to it. But you said something that throws your entire settlement out. You said it was both her and her daughter, and she can't speak for her daughter. So even if she says, yes, my daughter and I both agree, let's do it, and then you sent the check, and then the daughter writes to you and says, I didn't agree to that, well, then she didn't agree to it. She can't. What if somebody said, yeah, Bruce and I agree. By the way, are you still there, Bruce, or is this someone new? Bruce, are you there? No, this is someone new. But I'm still talking. So, Bruce, your problem is the other person involved. Okay? If you had an email and she admitted writing it, and you could prove it, then it would be enforced. It's a simple answer. 303-713-TALK. David's been listening to my show for 40 years. Oh, man, I love it. So, David, you were a pretty young man when you started listening. What's going on, sir?
Oh, I just wanted to make a couple comments about your referral list.
Yes, sir.
I've used it for like a lot of years and got a lot of great advice from you.
Good.
I just had a couple comments.
Sure.
I used, Simply Floors with Buddy Guy, and they did a great job. But I was just curious because it was a $12,000 job, and I had to put up front like $9,300.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for you, you always say don't put any up front. Or
no. I actually never say don't put any money up front.
Custom
no,
order.
No, but I never say don't put any money up front. Here's what I say: don't pay a lot of money up front for nothing. You pay. Now, this is what I say: you can pay up front if work begins. You can pay some money up front, not most of it. You can pay if work begins, if custom orders are put in your name and you can verify it, and when materials are delivered. But I don't like paying anything more than 50% up front unless I've said it, you can do an escrow or you can do a credit card. And if they want cash or any other form of payment, I would be very suspect. But I know that Buddy Mitchell and Simply Floors are golden, but even with them, I would say do it by credit card.
Absolutely.
Because if he gets hit by a truck, you want to be able to contest, right?
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And it is a custom order for flooring, Tom.
Right. Yeah, and if you can verify the order's been made, and again, I know him, but still, the general rule still applies. It still applies. So did you pay by credit card?
Yes, we did.
Good, excellent. So,
but it was, and I was still wouldn't even have done that unless because I know you've known him a long time, and Mark used him, everybody loved him, and they did a great job. But
plus, I'd track him down and kick his ass if anything happened.
By the way, David, seriously though, I want people to know this: credit card for down payments, you can't get stung. But what else is going on? Anything else?
Well, we did the tune-up special with 24/7.
Oh, what did you think about Fix It 24/7? What did you think about that $39 job?
He was there almost 2 hours.
Can you believe it?
My furnace it looked good.
Like, it looks like brand new, I know it. And I really appreciate the feedback, David, and thank you for listening for so long and sticking with me through thick and thin. I really do appreciate that. Mark, I think line 3 is someone new. Scott, welcome. By the way, you just heard that guy give kudos about the referral issue.
No, that was right. It's Andrew.
Okay, so who's on? Scott, am I talking to you now, Scott?
Yep, I'm here.
Excellent. So you're with Scott's Carpet and Decorating.
I am Scott's Carpet and Decorating.
Yes. And you are a new member of the referral list, and you wanted to discuss customer service. What part of customer service, sir?
Well, for starters, I hear you guys for the last 4 years about all these people giving money up front. I mean, when are they going to listen?
When? I don't know. When?
But at Scott's, we don't ask for any money up front, and we're so glad to be part of your team right now and hope that this becomes a huge success for us. We are a Christian-based company here in Fort Collins, and we do a lot of work towards Colorado Springs. So we're just hoping to expand our service area.
You have a big service area, Scott. How many vans or units do you have, teams?
Well, actually, I'm just taking care of everything right now, and we've been really busy up to this point. Home Advisor was a godsend for us about 4 years ago. But over the years, it's gone from bad to worse, from good to terrible.
Yeah, I know. They just sell the leads too many times, and people get inundated. Most of our money up front complaints and people disappearing have come from Angie's List and Home Advisor.
Yeah, and they're just not qualifying people, and if they're not qualifying, somebody, they're not qualifying a bunch.
What kind of carpet cleaning do you do?
I don't do carpet cleaning. I'm a carpet installation company.
Good.
And I do
Carpet. Okay.
Well.
Carpet and decorating. Now I understand that. Okay. What kind of decorating?
We're there to install your carpet for you. We get 90% of our customers end up buying their carpet on their own, or I lead them to the right place. Good. Home Depot and Lowe's. We buy the carpet off the roll, and I install it.
And what about decorating? What kind of part of that? Do you do painting?
It was painting to begin with, and now it's moving more into cleaning, to tell you the truth. We're doing a lot of clean-outs right now and stuff like that, but it was painting to begin with, so we welcome interior and small outside paint jobs as well.
Cool. And, Scott, give out your number, please.
Sure, it's 970-402-9250. You can leave a message or text. We welcome them both. God bless everybody out there.
Hey, can you do something? Can you do something special for people who called today, right now?
Absolutely.
Just to scream.
They call me today, right now. My minimum is $125. I'll knock $50 off it immediately.
Okay, $50 off immediately. 970-402-9250. That's Scott's Carpet and Decorating.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's Friday. It's the lunch hour drive. That means it's slowing down. Northbound I-25. Stop and go.
Let's go. Follow you. All right, I'll do that first.
Until you get north of southbound, slow from I-70, traveling down towards Colfax as well. Reports of a crash northbound I-25 at 6th Avenue. Yeah, I know that's a big news story, but I'm not seeing anything just yet. Just
pizza, brother.
Westbound I-70 slow.
Hey, you gotta.
Portion.
I tried to do something in a contract for Scott, and it wouldn't sign. It sends it back and sign. So when we go back down, I gotta pop on my computer.
Is he on?
Snow showers today.
He was just on.
Right now. No, I mean, is he on the referral list?
Yeah. So the contract that came back. Well, I just told him to put up there, and I pushed to sign it and stuff, and it won't allow me to sign it.
Oh, wow, you to sign it?
Yeah.
He
He
signed
signed
it.
it.
Okay.
Yes. You should have checked your body fat. Seriously, my body fat dropped 5
Oh, I
pounds.
guarantee it does, because
Yes.
I'm not eating most of the time.
I don't, you really, I do gotta commend you on that.
Well, you should commend me on lots of things.
No.
We should commend each other more. We don't spend nearly enough time commending. I love that shirt you're wearing today.
Well, thank you.
You like my boots?
The boots look brand new.
Thank you.
They are brand new.
Yeah, we're live.
Can we go up for a second?
Oh, yeah.
I say you should be.
I'm not good at that shit.
You might think about the last time you rented a car at the airport,
We're off.
but when you let Alliance.
Yeah, we're on. I can take it down.
Yeah, take it down.
No mileage penalties, no wear and tear penalties, and no early termination penalties. Hey, it's Ross, and it might sound too good to be true, but I guarantee you it isn't. Alliance Leasing will help your business save time and money. Learn more at alliance.lease. That's alliance.lease. Alliance Leasing is your key to the perfect fleet.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
The New York Times wants banks and credit card companies to stop accepting transactions for gun purchases. You know, the battle for the Second Amendment is now fully engaged. Join me Friday at 4 for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's go right to the phones. Albert, what's going on, sir?
Hello?
Hey, Albert, what's going on?
Oh, hi, Tom. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
And I thank you for listening and calling. What can we do for you?
I just want to thank you and your staff for all you do.
Well, good.
And I'm really calling to thank Integra Insurance, John Jr. He really helped us out.
Oh, man.
He went beyond and beyond.
That entire family is unbelievable.
That whole industry is unbelievable. I can't believe, Albert, that people bother selling health insurance anymore for what amounts to maybe a 2% commission or 3%.
On some, none.
And you have to have a service to others in your heart to do that. And the health insurance industry, there's no reason to go direct. You don't save any money. And I'll bet you were shocked at how much they did for you. And all of the choices they narrowed down for you.
Yes, he did. I'm so happy. I just want to thank you again.
Sure. Well,
thanks a lot.
I appreciate you calling, man. I love it. We have so many people calling to say, that they're happy. Let's go to this Silverado thing. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. It's Jose. I have a 2012 Silverado with a cracked dash. It's all cosmetic. I was actually looking for a dash mat to cover it up when I started finding blogs about it saying that it's a problem across the 04 through 14.
Do you know about it? So they all crack or dry out or what?
They all crack.
Sounds like the sun gets to them.
Yeah.
It does, and they do crack.
Yeah,
because you hardly ever see cracks any.
Well, and we're a mile high too, man.
So, even if that's true, and there was a problem with it, you're not going to get anything done with a 6-year-old vehicle.
That's kind of where
it depends. Have you talked to a dealer or anybody about that? Have you talked to anybody at a dealership?
Do you really think they would?
I did talk to AutoNation. They said that they would look at it internally because that's where I bought the truck. I've had the truck from them for 2 years now. And they said they couldn't help me out, gave me the number to GM customer service line, which they opened up a claim for me. They probably took 2 weeks to get back to me. Finally said that at that point they were not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, GM's official stance on that is if it's out of warranty, it's out of warranty.
I'm surprised.
It's way out of warranty.
And he is right. I mean, since 04, but primarily starting in 07, they started seeing a lot of problems. Well, it replaced the dash, or some interior guys do custom work on dashes, but like you said, we're a mile high. This is
duct tape.
God, I can't stand the way that looks.
Joe Dirt loved it.
And I don't like those carpet covers. I don't like
Armor All.
I don't care.
Armor All's going to do nothing now, but if he used Armor All,
wouldn't it be nice if they if they made a coating that you could fill in, and then you know what crinkle or texture paint is? It's like that rough paint, but it looks good. Could you imagine, right? You take a little kit that has that paste and you fill in the crack. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just putty knife it off, and then spray it, mask it off and spray it with this texture. In fact, I bet you could do that. I mean, right now you could do that. That textured paint covers a multitude of sins. I like using it a lot when I was rebuilding aircraft and antique aircraft. If you have imperfect surfaces, it just is beautiful. It's a godsend. Hey, Andrew, what's happening?
Hey, Tom. I'm hoping you can give me a little advice here. So
sure.
My niece, 14-year-old niece, just got diagnosed with a brain tumor, and there's a whole lot of people trying to help out, which has been great.
Now, is it brain cancer or just a tumor? I don't mean just, but is it a tumor?
It is. It's on the pons of her brain, right in the center.
And they did a biopsy?
They did, yep.
Because many times, whether it's cancer or not, it's dangerous. So it's in the center of her brain?
Right in the middle.
Oh, my God. It's inoperable.
Yeah, it is.
How old is she?
She's starting radiation soon. She's 14. She's starting radiation soon, I think this week, actually. But a lot of people are jumping together to try and help her. And in that, an iPad and a care package were sent to insure her old address. It went to the wrong place. So if that was sent from out of town, I'm local, of course, so I went over to try and help out. And until knocking, she finally opened the door. I talked to her for a minute. She gave me one of the packages, and then the iPad came separately. There was about $300 in gift cards, iTunes gift cards, that are missing as well.
Do you think this person literally kept this stuff knowing it's not hers?
She did initially, and she had a lot of stories. But,
did you tell her it's for a girl suffering from brain cancer?
I did, and there's more to it. So she said that her ex-boyfriend now, so I don't know the whole story, but took the iPad without her telling her about it, and
is it an iPod or iPad?
iPad.
Did they insure this?
They did, but there's also $300 in iTunes gift cards.
Why was it sent to the wrong address?
It was a mistake. It was the old address.
On whose part?
On the sender's part.
Okay. How many
insurance isn't going to cover it?
Let's get right down to what we're missing. What are we missing?
An iPad, a new iPad. I'm not sure the size, but an iPad, and then $300 in iTunes gift cards.
I say we call this lady. I mean, this is insane. If she's admitting her boyfriend took it.
So you said she did give something. What did she give you? You said she did return.
There's a care package with quite a few gift cards. $100 was missing out of that care package in iTunes gift cards, but everything else was present along with a lot of other gift cards. She also has told me she was going to go over and get it from her ex-boyfriend, and has been texting back and forth.
How old is this girl? How old is she?
She's probably late 20s, early 30s. She has a couple kids of her own.
Wow, who cares? Let's call this lady. This is insane. She admits it.
I want you to give us the contact information, okay? I want it. We'll call over there.
I mean, she's a thief.
And talk to her and get her boyfriend's number. I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, what about the gift cards, Andrew? What did she say about the gift cards?
So the gift cards $200 came with the iPad, and then there's another $100.
What about it? Where is it?
Her boyfriend apparently has that as well. I brought that up to her, and I haven't heard any text.
Is this an ex-boyfriend, do you know?
Now, by the way, just so you know, this is called unjust enrichment, which means she can be charged with it. It's conversion. It's not hers, even if it was sent to her. And you can sue her for it as well.
I'd say it's worse than that, because it wasn't her name on the package. I almost look at this as
theft. It's a federal offense. It is. It is a federal offense. Now, it's a very serious offense, and I want Mark to explain it to her. I really do.
Okay.
I mean, this is a federal offense. We're talking the FBI. We're talking about a victim here who has brain cancer. How much is the iPad worth?
You know, I wasn't involved in that part of it, but I mean, $800, I'm guessing.
Well, it depends on which one it is. That's why I asked. So hold on. Let's get this information, Suzanne. I want Mark to call over to that woman and explain to her the ramifications of a federal crime, and we're not going to let this go. They got to give the stuff back, damn it. Sarah's got a comment on this. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, the sender of that parcel needs to contact their local law enforcement, and they need to contact the Postal Inspection Service.
Right.
It is a federal crime.
That's exactly what she needs to do.
I would not contact the receiver. They need to...
Why wouldn't you contact the receiver?
You mean you wouldn't? If you were us, you wouldn't call?
You need the Postal Inspection Service to handle it.
But what
They're
if we can
FBI
get them?
trained.
But what if we can get them to get it? Give it back.
I can shake her cage up pretty good.
Do you honestly think that this boyfriend is going to return these items?
If he knows it's a federal crime.
No, you put the pressure on her, though. Who cares?
But she's right. Sarah's right. He may have already spent it or sold them, right?
Yeah, they need to contact the Postal Inspection
You're
Service
right about that.
and get them involved.
That is for sure. You're right. What were you going to... You got anything? Okay. Let's get this ball rolling. This really sucks, and this hurts me. Andrew, do they have a GoFundMe or anything set up for this girl we can help out with?
Yeah, there is. Shoot. Tom,
Here's
how
what
to
you do.
email it to us.
Andrew, get us all the information. But before you do that, I want you to get their permission that we can publicize it, okay, to help her out?
Sure.
Okay.
Get a picture of this thief for me.
Yeah, well, he may not have
And her little rugrats.
Now, I would like to help her out in other ways, so we do want the victim's name and address and information about her GoFundMe, but is she a minor, did we say? Is this... She's 14? I want the parents' permission.
It's unbelievable.
Can you believe, though, taking the money and just... taping that stuff. It came to the house and it's not yours.
It's not even addressed to you.
People are such... They're disgusting. They're disgusting. You're going to call her right now, right? Chauncey, what's happening?
Henry.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, man. What's going on with you?
Well, I had an accident. A guy ran into the back end of me.
Yeah.
In December.
Okay.
They said the insurance company told me to take it to get a couple estimates.
Sure.
Did, and I got to them anyway. It was like $600 difference.
Yeah.
So I took this one body shop, and they said, "Oh, okay, we're having it in a week." Well, that happened the 12th of February.
What body shop is it with?
It's in Brighton, B&E.
B&E? Are they doing anything wrong?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I had to rent a vehicle, okay, from Enterprise right there in Brighton. Right.
Yeah, but that's your insurance or the other party that should pay for this.
Well, right. But here's the thing. It's costing me like $45 a day.
I understand that, Chauncey, and you have a claim against the other party, or you can put it into your insurance if you have that coverage.
Okay.
The body shop is not going to be responsible for you at all. They're not responsible. They can't be. Otherwise, we wouldn't have body shops in business. They can't possibly be held to, repairing in a certain amount of time, or they provide you a car. They would have to put that in their estimate. So if you have bills, first of all, did you check to see if you have tow coverage?
Yes, I have that, and I have...
Good. Then put it into your insurance, Chauncey. Listen, I'm not going to call a body shop and shake them down for that. I just can't. I can't, because it's not their fault. Now, if these people were doing something egregious and keeping it for months at a time, now we're talking about something. But we're talking about 2 weeks instead of 1. Anything can make that happen. We got more coming right up.
From the Fox Business Network.
I can see people being upset, but he's going to try to get her to pay for a rental.
Major averages are on track for weekly losses. Among the leaders today, tech companies.
Yeah,
and also
people
today,
I tell you, there's some scumbags out there. People don't realize
quarter and is predicting this year will be better than previously forecast.
What pisses me off.
That girl, 14-year-old girl with cancer. Holy
printer sales improved. Shares of the company are up close to 6% today on Wall Street. And the maker of Cheerios is going to the dogs. General Mills, the maker of the famous breakfast cereal, has reached a deal to acquire Blue Buffalo Pet Products for about $8 billion. The acquisition putting General Mills into the growing market for natural pet foods. Blue Buffalo sells a wide variety of pet products, including Vet Diet goods. The deal comes as General Mills is looking to reinvent itself as consumers gravitate away from packaged and processed foods. With the Fox Business Report.
Did she say it went by postal? I didn't hear that, or UPS or FedEx or what is
to go
You know what?
without visiting.
I don't know.
Now it seems like you're constantly.
That was my question.
The makers of
Say again? Did it go by FedEx, UPS, or postal?
Beta prostate.
So that, I mean,
Oh, you're right. For Prime.
Great for the prostate. To celebrate your first 30 days of supply is free. They ship it to your house.
Absolutely right.
Call 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251. 1-800-257-5251.
He's on line 3.
The best price for
Don't get it, so we know where.
works for me. Visit Sprint.com/unlimited or call 1-800-SPRINT1 to learn more.
Oh, Mark might be calling the other place.
Oh, I'll go ask him.
Vehicles about stacking up as the lunch hour continues this Friday. I-35, both directions, a bit slow there, starting at about Alameda, traveling up towards the I-70 interchange. Nothing out of the
I think
airport.
this thing.
Friday, westbound I-70 on the elevated
Yep.
both directions of I-270.
Jeff hooked it up.
On the approach to
There you go.
Vasquez. One wreck off highway at Evans and Broadway. Watch out for.
I'm surprised that he said they didn't like it. I love that pizza.
Snow showers.
You guys
the best.
I love it. It's good pizza.
I haven't been to the Edgewater in years, but that used to be my favorite.
Right now, a few clouds above and
I need to look and see if there's. I've never heard of it in the spring, so I guess not. I'll have to look at it.
Anthony's, I always felt was the best, but
works for me.
there are a lot of local favorites like Edgewater.
Edgewater Inn, get a slice on a pie.
But they don't really do delivery, do they?
No. Well, they certainly wouldn't come all the way up here anyway.
And there was one called, well, where's the Edgewater Inn? On
Over by Snows Lake.
Oh.
And where's Anthony's?
Everywhere.
There's one over in Parker. They don't deliver the one in Parker.
They have DTC. The one chirping us is.
Do they do pasta and other stuff?
No, well, minimum stuff.
Yeah,
You know, like little
they got calzones and.
yeah, stuff like that. But fast Italian food. What is the? Let's see. What's that one that used to be really popular? I didn't like that much, but Bojo's was it? Or is it?
Yeah, I was never a fan of Bojo's.
I like the one up in the mountains.
Did you call?
Yes. I got a voicemail. I left a very nice message.
You were very nice. Too nice.
I said, listen, I don't know how old your kids are. Not sure where they go to school yet.
So I will find out.
But imagine if one of them was. But imagine if one of them was 14 and had brain cancer, and people packed up and were sending you
What's
gifts.
the deal, you know?
And mortgage interest rates are.
No, I did say, call me back either with your boyfriend's address. Maybe I can come out and talk to you. You can give me your boyfriend's address. I'm glad to meet him anywhere, but this is outrageous.
Egregious.
It's egregious.
Her name is Mud.
Well, tell us about the mud then.
Well, because it jumped those booths. Aside from I'm not getting hurt jumping off the balcony.
He had muddy boots.
Huh?
He had muddy boots?
No. He was hurt when they capped him. The surgeon who worked on him, his name was Mud, and it destroyed his career. So from that point on, he literally couldn't get it, so his name was Mud. And so when you attach that to your name,
I read that now. I remember reading that now.
I like, you ever watch that show, Pawn Stars? I love that show. I love the history
That's
lessons.
the one in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The history lessons are unbelievable.
You told me also like porn
Is that the one where?
Oh, and Porn Stars, yes.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Gerald has a comment on that broken dash or that cracked dash in the vehicle, and we were wondering why they don't have kits available to repair them.
Real quick, I left Nicole, or as she goes by, Nikki, a nice little voicemail, and hopefully she'll get back to us pretty soon. I asked for maybe her boyfriend's number. I'll be happy to meet him anywhere. Happy to meet her.
She is the one that kept the stuff. And she can blame it on her boyfriend, but she kept the stuff.
14-year-old girl with inoperable brain cancer. You know, good for you out there, Nikki.
So Nikki gets this iPad and money through the mail. And her boyfriend takes it.
And apparently Nikki's got kids, so I wonder how she'd feel if this was her kids. One of her 14-year-old girls that has cancer, and the neighbor's staking stuff. It's outrageous.
Gerald, what about the broken dash?
Hey, Tom. I work at a GM dealership, and I've seen that a lot on these trucks.
On that on that particular vintage, right? The 04s?
Yes.
What have you found?
What I find, well, there's a dash cap you can buy. It comes out of a place called Dash Skin, and it's a full molded dash what he will glue down.
Oh, really? So it looks like original OEM stuff.
Looks original OEM, and they work perfect. I've personally put on a half a dozen of them.
What and does it? Do you have to disassemble anything?
No, you don't. You just got to scuff the old one, and they apply the compound.
Very
you just
cool.
Need to you just got to use some weights to weight it down.
Where can I see it?
Go to www.dashskin.com.
Dashskin.com. Okay.
And I believe they have them for the Dodge trucks, because the Dodge trucks...
I see them. Yeah, they are molded. Man, do they... That is such a good find. Thank you so much. This is a great call, Gerald. Look at these, man. You can get them for almost anything. And they're hard, or you know what I'm saying, they're molded. That would look exactly like new. I hope our listener... I hope you're still listening. Oh, man, you'd love that. Huh. Okay, 303-713-TALK. Lori, welcome to the show, Lori.
Hi, Tom. Hey, I just wanted to give a shout-out to Ideal Home Loans.
What happened?
Well, it's been a couple of months now, and I meant to call you, but, you know.
Thank you.
Anyway, I did a refi and took some cash out. It was so easy, I didn't even break a sweat. I mean, it was just so easy to do.
Good.
Their agent was awesome, and they sent a notary to my home to close. I mean, it was just awesome.
You did not have to leave the house.
No, I was in my jammies.
And how long did the whole thing take?
2 weeks.
Well, thank you, Lori, for letting us know that. Now, that's incredible. Never left her home. It took 2 weeks. Ideal Home Loans. They're on a referral list, 303-867-7000. We love hearing good things. Okay, Lance, we got some lines open after Lance. In fact, all of them will be open, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Lance, go ahead.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Thanks for taking my call. I just want to, first of all, thank you for everything you do for the community and
Appreciate
people that
it.
are in trouble.
I love doing it.
Really good.
I love doing it.
So I'm in a situation where I'm falling in love with a foreign woman, and I went to visit her, and I'm looking to get a K-1 visa process, and I kind of want to figure out
what is a K-1 visa as opposed to a regular visa?
Oh, it's just for a fiancé visa.
Oh, okay. I did not know they had one specifically for that.
Right. I know that you have an attorney that
yes, we do.
An immigration
Neuheisen. Is he around? Do you know?
I already have a text into him, Tom.
Yeah, we have some really good immigration attorneys. And where is your fiancé from?
Thailand.
Thailand. Okay. And what is the circumstance? When do you want him in? When do you want her to come?
As soon as possible. The problem is I'm hearing from people that I've talked to that the timeline is like 8-9 months to get it processed, but on the government website it says 2 to 3 months. So I just wanted to figure out if it really makes any difference to go through an attorney. Or
does she have a poncho and sombrero?
Yeah,
she can walk in.
Right? Yeah.
She can walk in. Some sandals. I mean,
and if she gets here quick enough, she'll get amnesty.
No, actually, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Is it that easy? They don't just walk in, do they? Am I just joking too much?
They fly in, drive in, walk in. They just come in.
Lance, we're going to hook you up on the air with Neuheisen to get a lot of free advice. We'll see what happens and what he says. Can I ask some things out of curiosity? Was this like an internet thing?
Yeah, I originally met her on the internet. And
was it specifically a dating site?
Yeah, and then we started video chatting like every day.
Did you fly over there?
I did.
Oh, cool. So I'm really happy you flew over there because it's not a ripoff. You know what I mean? It's a real person.
No, she's a good girl. She's a good person.
So hold on. So it begins with this site, and then you started communicating. Then you sent video, and then you flew over there. That must have been exciting. Did she introduce you to her whole family?
Yeah, I met her mother and her grandmother. Her father's not around anymore, but yeah, I met her whole family, and she speaks English well.
How does your family feel about it?
Well, I'm towards the age where it's like I'm 45. So
Oh, okay.
It's kind of getting to the point where it's like I got to make a decision here.
Like, who cares, right? What your family thinks at this point. Are you gonna start a family and everything? I mean, do you guys have the same goals?
Yep, that's definitely the goal here. I need to get going on that if I want to have a kid. Otherwise, I'll be, you know.
I didn't hear what country.
Thailand.
Thailand. Wow.
Yeah.
So, is it beautiful over there, Lance?
It's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty warm. I was there in the wintertime, and it was 85 every day. So, yeah.
What part of Thailand? What part of Thailand?
Chonburi.
I mean, what part would that be in the country?
It's south of Bangkok, on the eastern side of the country, because it's kind of split down the middle.
Okay. Now listen, we're going to try to get him on and to address this if we can hold on a few minutes. But his phone number, for those listening for immigration law, Mueheisen and Mueheisen, 303-407-0453. 303-407-0453. Okay, so let's talk to Steve. Steve, what's happening?
Well, good day, Tom. I just wanted to thank you for your show, but I also wanted to just really mention how much help I've received from Dr. Patty over at Colorado Tinnitus.
Oh, they're really good people.
Man,
This
is kudos day.
Oh, totally kudos to them. I have had significant hearing loss and tinnitus in my ears for years, and I'm in fact talking to you on the Bluetooth to my hearing aids right at this moment.
Very cool. They go right to your hearing aids. That is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And so, do you have tinnitus?
Oh, absolutely.
So you have tinnitus too, and what treatment are you doing for that? You have the hearing aid that helps with the
Yes.
programs? Yep.
Yes, and it just it makes it so I don't even notice the tinnitus anymore.
Isn't that nice? What kind of hearing aids do you have? I might have to upgrade mine. What kind do you have?
Well, I think it's called, at least the controller is called an MDEX. It's some that they
Okay,
have there
that's because, is it the Widex hearing aids?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's what I have. Except I don't have, mine are not smartphone compatible, so you control yours with the smartphone.
Yes, and it's really nice, and it makes such a difference. I have to be on the phone to contact and talk with customers, and the ability to hear in both of my ears the conversation makes me able to do my job. So I just wanted to tell people that I heard about Colorado Tinnitus on your show and went and saw them, and they have just changed my life to beyond description. It's just been great.
Well, thank you for calling. I love it. Like Mark calls this, Kudos Day. Wow. Okay, so Lance, we're still trying to get a hold of Mueheisen, and even if we don't, we'll get you guys connected because they can probably help you a lot. Now, guess what we have? Open lines, and it's Friday. That means, in addition to your problems, questions, and complaints, because people either lied to you, cheated you, or ripped you off, you can rant your heart away. I'm extending it to 30 seconds, uninterrupted, of course, no vulgarities. Then we're going to do an update on our sleaze brigade, because the two newest members are truly sleazy, disgusting, vile. Need I say more?
And we got to find out Anders' new phone number.
Yes, if anyone knows Anders' new phone number, Dave Anders, Anders Construction. He got a new phone, but he's going to have to give out the number soon if he's going to advertise, unless he just leaves the state like we'd like him to just leave us alone, or just give the money back.
From the
So the new Santa Fe, ready for this option of a turbo diesel.
Yep, that's right. Southbound I-25
Option. They're going to have the 2.4 diesel, or 2.4 turbo.
Santa Fe with 2.4 turbo diesel?
Yeah.
That's a lot of bucks.
Now listen, you are K-Smart. It may not be a great option because the benefit of the diesel is the longevity. But you don't you get rid of them every
No, I don't think I get the diesel. I get the 2.4 turbo gas.
How much more expensive do you think a diesel would be?
They don't know yet. Oh, I mean, well, they don't. How much do you guys think?
For the vehicle itself?
Yeah, no,
K-How.
yeah, $5 more.
Like, what's the difference between a Volkswagen TDI and the Golf regular?
One you use Charmin, the other one you use generic. They're both pieces of shit.
Hey, Damn,
price difference, though.
Volkswagen. Volkswagen is pronounced Volkswagen. Because that's all they do is they.
Wait a minute, are the cars not good anymore?
You know, and as a general rule, most German engineering, it's all a stigma around it. They over-engineer a lot of stuff. Their product is not better than the American or Japanese product.
Which one? No, the little new one.
It was good.
Oh, that's
Good.
German?
You like it?
Looking at you.
No doubt.
It's so cute.
Started garnishing my paycheck.
I just got it for a toy.
You have a little Volkswagen Rabbit diesel. That thing would get 50 miles a gallon. Of course, that was 40 years ago.
Give me an idea, a normal airplane will burn like 14 gallons an hour. Or
to advanced tax solutions. Yeah, definitely a good experience and a major stress.
Really?
Is
it a diesel? No, and it burns auto gas. So I keep a tank of auto gas. What?
A diesel airplane?
Why not? Why not?
Jelly.
Well, first of all, my helicopter is jet fuel.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Well, that's all
But
we've
yeah,
ever seen, right?
you're not going near as fast and near as high as you are.
But they make airplanes.
Wow.
Really? Make
I never heard of that.
I don't mean jets. I mean diesels.
How about boats? They have diesel boats.
Oh yeah, the 6071 Detroit was originally made for the
Now,
because they go so high, they get cold up there.
this little German plane I bought is so well put together. Oh my God, it's so perfect. They must have one hell of a quality control.
Have you guys seen those SpaceX rockets come back down?
Yes!
It is the
Are they the
craziest
coolest
shit I've ever seen.
Are they
And
the coolest
when
looking
I first saw the video, I thought they simply put it in reverse and they were fucking with me.
I don't know how you keep the thing like that stable.
No idea.
They're not moving fast
Hi, Tom Martino here. This will be a fun call. Mark, hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
How you doing?
Good, man.
Well, I'm looking at a Mooney. It's down in Florida, and I want to, go look at it and stuff. But I'm wondering, how am I going to make a deposit on keeping it until I can get my finances?
Well, a lot of people, a Mooney airplane. And what year is it, out of curiosity?
It's an 80. It's an 80 MK in 20K.
A 1980.
Correct.
Right? And what an MK? And what is the an amount of hours on it?
Oh, I don't have the information right in front of me. It was about 800 on the engine. It's got since major overhaul on the engine. It's not a real high time on the airframe.
Is it? Does it look
nice.
good?
It's real nice equipped. Yeah, it's got some real nice radios. A WAS 30.
I'm just curious about something. I'm just curious about something. Why a Mooney? They're so cramped inside. I mean, they're pretty fast, but do you just have a liking for them? You love them?
No, and I'm a big guy, and I had a.
You're not going to like it.
I had a really nice 210, but it was just so expensive to annual, and so I'm looking at something a little more economical.
Yeah, they're not going to be that much more economical.
You don't think?
No, I don't think. What is your purpose? Do you do a lot of cross country?
I do some cross country, mostly personal flying. Yeah.
Just fun. Just fun.
Was that 210 with RG, a little turbo?
Is it more than fun?
Stuff like that.
Like short trips, right?
Yeah, Phoenix. Back to
Oh, okay. So you want something substantial, and okay. I mean, I'm not trying to talk you out of the Mooney, but they're really not inexpensive to operate any more than a 210. I mean, a 182 would be, for your liking, would be a great.
Oh no, yeah, but they're so slow and they drink so much fuel.
Oh, do you want?
I owned a 182.
How about a Bonanza? Yeah, Bonanzas are wonderful. Have you ever thought of a Bonanza?
Yeah, they got really wonderful price tags on them too.
And you know, an older plane that still keeps up with speed and beauty and technology. They're all basically the same except for the new stuff. Comanches. Have you ever looked at those?
No, I'm looking into them. I was under the impression that the Moonies were quite a bit less on the annual because the gear and the way that the push rod system works on the controlling.
Yeah, the push rods are very, very low maintenance compared to cables, but you just have to. You're not going to get away much cheaper. The 210 is probably is going to be like a third higher. But you're not going to save as much as you think. I mean, I don't know. I just have a thing. I just don't like sitting in that cockpit. It's just too cramped. But how tall are you?
6'2".
And how heavy?
250.
God almighty, I don't know how you, because I can't stand it. I don't know how you're going to stand it. Anyway, your question was about deposits, and here's the deal. Are you dealing with a dealer or an individual?
Individual.
Okay. I would not put a deposit down to keep an airplane, and I'll tell you why. There's too much room for abuse. And also, the market is not that hot unless you found such a screaming deal. And in that case, I would pay a local dealer to do the deal and give them a few bucks. And then that's what I did when I recently purchased something. Even though it was from an individual, we used a dealer so I could send a credit card deposit. And that's the way I did it. I'm a big believer in credit cards.
Some title companies might do something as well.
Do you think a regular title company might? I don't know.
I think like Land Title does stuff like that. I'm not sure though.
But you want to do something safe. I don't know. You don't know the individual from Adam, but
you know that little Mooney he's talking about does over 200.
No, I know they're fast as hell. They're really fast and they're cute, but they're cramped.
Yeah, they are. They're small. You can barely get a set of clubs in them.
I didn't ask how much are they asking for it?
He wants almost 74 for it, which is another problem because I went with Joe and put a lot of money into be the banker, and so
you can borrow from that.
Right, but
in fact, I don't know why you wouldn't. Why wouldn't you borrow from yourself?
Well, I put in 125 over 2 years, and the amount that the net is right now is only 56 that I can borrow.
Now hold on. There's a problem there because I was told you can get, and listen, I don't care who I'm talking about. I want to make sure I'm telling the truth. I was told, Dan and I just asked about this, that you can have 98% of the money a couple days later, and you're telling me you put 120 in and can only get access to 56?
125, but that's over 2 years, so they split it in 62.5.
I understand that, but why can you only get, I still don't understand, if you put in, listen, I'm not saying anything's dishonest, I'm just saying I need to understand, and I might call Joe on this. You're telling me you have a total of 125 sitting there, but you can only borrow 56?
It's not there yet. I signed it. They won't let me put in the whole 125 at one time. Well, I guess they would. But
then you might want to amend it. Listen, so right now, this is what I'm asking. When you put in the full 125, can you're telling me you can only borrow that based on how much is in there now?
56 is off the 62.5.
Okay, then that makes sense. That you had me scared. That's exactly what I would expect. You can borrow 56. So what I would do is, if I were you, if you can wait, I don't know, I would wait till I get the 125 in there, and I'd borrow it from there and pay myself 9% interest. You will sock away so much money. It'll really help.
Right, and I need to correct, when I listen to you guys on the radio, y'all always say it pays 5%, and that you can borrow at 4%. And
no, 4.76% is what we said, and then you can earn 4%. The extra percent is dividends. So for a loan, not counting dividends, it's costing you 0.76. So in order for you to earn money, you have to charge yourself more than 4.76. So I recommend people charge themselves 9% or 8.76, and then you get yourself a nice clean 4% on top of what you're paying back into your cash account.
Yeah.
Because remember, you're still earning 4% when you borrow that money. So,
and I couldn't find any better a place to put that money.
No, you won't. You won't. Not for that little amount.
Not that safe.
No, not that safe, and not that little amount. You're not going to find anything better. It's a great investment. Now, it shouldn't be the only investment people have. And people like Mark, who like to trade, they can make way more money. But most of us don't do that.
No, I don't. That's for sure. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Mark, I would not. Mark, listen carefully. Don't go through all this trouble with Be the Banker and then take out a loan for an airplane. It's ridiculous. You borrow from yourself. Man, you can rather than giving the interest to the bank, you're going to be living proof of this thing. You pay yourself that interest.
Right.
So
right. But the one thing that I was disappointed in, and I didn't realize until it was all said and done, and I didn't want to back out after
no,
that.
tell me what it is.
They take your 5% because it's after 4.7. 4.76 is only his first year, and then it goes up to 5 after that. And they take that off the top. So when I borrow it, they take that right off the top.
Oh, really? No matter how long?
Yeah.
Well, hold on, though. What if you pay back the loan in less than a year?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Well, I'm sure these are questions that I need to ask. This is great, but listen, do me a favor. If you can wait, you should. But if you want the idea about deposits, I wouldn't do it unless you can do it with a credit card and pay a local dealer. And, Mark, if you have any more questions for me, I have bought and sold more than 25 airplanes. Suzanne, give him my email for that, 303-713-TALK. Guys, thank you very much. Kimmer Transmission and Colorado Springs Dodge, save all your problems for me.
Americans are always on the move. They're in their car or...
Moonies are fast as snot, but Jesus. Mark, have you sat in one? The thing is like you bump your head with your headset.
My favorite one was
I need room, man. I hate being cramped.
You don't think this is a good whiteboard?
It's not horrible. I mean, it's better than we have nothing.
Right. I want to show you this cute little plane.
I want something bigger.
30 at the 70s.
Phone number and
That's big.
I wanted something that took a
so you can work
probably. Oh, you're not going to be able to haul it out. What if they don't want to?
16
Don't really? Oh wow. Okay.
Grasshopper, there's no long-term contract.
No, it'll just stay there.
Support is 24/7. Whether you're
that'd be great. That would
be some business. Grasshopper is the answer. Now get $20 off your first month when you visit grasshopper.com/radio.
And we're off.